Salon owner Beverly McGee and hair braider Tanisha Jones are suing 21-year-old food server Queen Dixon for kicking in the front door to their business. Beverly says the damage occurred during an argument between Tanisha and Queen's sister.
All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 323 on the calendar in the matter of McGee versus Dixon.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have seats.
Which one of you two young ladies is Tanisha?
I am, Your Honor.
That's you. Miss McGee, according to what I read, you own a beauty salon.
Yes, Your Honor, Barbie Beauty Salon.
And Tanisha is your employee.
Yes. She's my boss, Your Honor.
How long have you worked for her?
About 7 months.
On July 29th of this year, you were working in the store?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were not in the store?
That is correct, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, the defendant came into the store with her mother and broke the door to the store, causing damage in the amount of approximately $800. Miss Dixon said she did not break the door. It was your employee, Tanisha, who broke the door. So far, do I have your stories correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Miss McGee, why don't you have a seat for a moment? Because you weren't present that day, and I want to hear from Miss Dixon and her mother, who I'm sure is present. Now, there is no question that Tanisha, what's your last name?
Jones, Your Honor.
Miss Jones was in the store. Were there any other technicians in the store?
No, ma'am.
She was alone. And there is no question that on that date in July that you did go to the store together. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did not go to the store for the purpose of having your hair done.
No.
Correct?
No, yes, ma'am.
You went to the store for the purpose of a confrontation. Confrontation means to confront. Doesn't necessarily mean to fight. To confront Miss Tanisha Jones about a problem that she was having with your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you say in your
correct.
answer. So you went there with your mother.
And also my boyfriend.
And you, and the boyfriend.
He was there too.
So 3 of you went to confront Miss Jones about something that had to do with your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
So now I want you to tell me what that was.
Well, there's been a problem for a little bit over a year. Miss Jones and my sister, they were working in the same beauty salon. There was a bit of jealousy going on between them. My sister holds a cosmetology license, and at the time, Miss Jones did not have one. That was where the jealousy came in. Miss Jones was harassing my sister. They were bothering her things, you know, throwing stuff away. They, you know, used to turn her clients away.
Who's they?
Well, Miss Jones and other people that also worked in the shop.
So it wasn't just Miss Jones who didn't like your sister. There were other people who didn't like your sister in the shop.
People that were under her, like maybe her shampoo girls.
Okay. So according to you, Miss Jones was harassing your sister for a long period of time, and according to you, causing other people to harass your sister at her place of employment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what did you go to the shop for?
We went to ask her.
She doesn't work there anymore, does she?
No, ma'am. Miss Jones had my sister fired from the shop that they were working at together.
Oh. So according to you, Tanisha had your sister fired from her job.
Yes,
when
ma'am.
was your sister fired from her job?
I'm not exactly for sure, but she can tell you what time, when she was
What
fired.
month?
April.
You didn't go to the shop until July.
Yeah.
So between April and July, tell me what happened.
There was still the jealousy going on, but Miss Jones went to work at a different shop. The first shop they work at together is called Capital Cuts. That's not the shop Miss McGee owns. The shop that Miss McGee owns is called Uptown Styles. And that is where Miss Jones was working. That is where the confrontation happened.
No, I understand that, Miss Dixon. What I want to know is if you claim that Tanisha had your sister fired from her job after harassing her in April, what precipitated the confrontation 3.5 months later?
Because even though my sister was not working at Capital Cuts, she had friends that were there. We used to still go up there and get services. Even when we were going up there to get services, she still was harassing my sister, even to the point where they barred my sister from that shop. And there was no reason for them to bar my sister from that shop.
Who's they?
The management.
Okay, now, was Miss Jones still working at that shop?
Yes, ma'am.
When they barred your sister from the shop, Miss Jones was still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's the background of the case. Now, you want to say something?
Yes, Your Honor. That's not the complete background. During this harassment of my daughter Fatima, Your Honor, my daughter Fatima Dixon did file a formal complaint against Ms. Tanisha Jones and the management to the State Board of Cosmetology. On the incident day, that was the day Ms. Jones received the complaint.
Just a second, which incident day?
At the shop where she said the door was kicked in.
You mean in July?
On July, she got the reply from the State Board.
Yes.
And we do have that.
Listen to me. Whatever the State Board told Tanisha, whether it was good or bad for her, I don't know. But she didn't go to your house. You went to her house.
That's only after, when she received that letter, Your Honor, she started back with the phone harassment, calling my daughter on a new job that is neither one of these salons that they are talking about now.
Just 1 second. So what you're telling me is, after Tanisha was notified of a decision by the Board of Cosmetology, she began harassing your daughter, and that was the same day?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Tanisha Jones says Queen Dixon kicked in the front door to her place of business. Queen says Tanisha had been harassing her sister.
Were you notified on the 29th of July of this year of a determination by the State Board of Cosmetology?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that determination?
They complained that I was using chemicals in the shop, which I do not do.
And what did the State Board tell you?
That you're not supposed to use, you're supposed to have your license to use chemicals in a shop, basically.
Was your license suspended?
No, ma'am. I
Anything
became
happened?
the first licensed hair braider in the state of Virginia.
So when you received that notification, did you call Ms. Dixon?
No, ma'am.
Her mother and her sister seemed to say that you did.
No, ma'am.
Who received the phone call?
Miss Dixon received it at a shop that doesn't have anything to do with those two that she's talking about.
Shh. Now step up. Okay, on the 29th of July, you received a phone call from Tanisha?
Yes, on the July 29th, I was on my way to work, and when I got to work, I got a phone call on the shop phone.
And
it was Miss Jones, and she asked me why I wrote the State Board, and she got the cussing and yelling and just...
Why, just a second, she said, why did you write the State Board, and what did you say?
I told her it was her problem and she needs to deal with it. So once I hung up on Miss Jones, she called my cell phone back 2 or 3 times, and she called the shop phone back 2 or 3 times.
Did anybody pick up the phone?
They picked up the shop phone, and I didn't. And I told them I was not speaking to her.
Okay. What court did you go to with regard to your harassment complaint?
We went to Norfolk Criminal Court, ma'am.
And what happened with that case?
They threw all the cases out except for Miss Jones' case. She got fined, if I'm not mistaken, for the phone harassment. And my sister, she got fined for violating her bond agreement.
What bond agreement?
Miss Jones had us arrested after all of this.
May I please say something?
Mm-hmm.
I was not fined at that court. Everything was dismissed except her provoking her bond. She was on bond.
On bond for what?
For harassing me. And she came back to my job.
Just a second. When was the incident where she was on bond for harassing you?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I don't
What
have
month?
the date.
Before or after July 29th?
After.
So she had a restraining order?
Yes.
That was issued against her on July 29th?
Yes, and she was arrested. After that incident, she was arrested.
For the incident of July 29th?
Yes.
Eventually we get there. All right, Ms. Dixon, what happened with that case?
Well, the warrants that she took out were...
What happened to the case?
They all were dismissed. Those 5 were dismissed. There were 2 for destruction of property for me and my sister, and also 2 for threatening to do bodily harm and kill, and 1 for assault and battery. They all were dismissed.
Well, there was no assault and battery that I'm hearing about here, only breaking the door. Vandalism. Shh. No, you weren't there. Sit down.
These are all the arrest
Could I see?
And all the bond papers.
Where is the certificate of disposition on these cases?
We weren't given any.
You weren't given a certificate of disposition?
No, ma'am.
But you were given this protective order that you were to stay away from her.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I want you to tell me what happened on the 29th of July.
I was sitting in the barbershop in Uptown Styles by myself. I was on my cell phone and I heard a boom. When I heard the boom, I saw Queen Dixon come into the barbershop and her mother came in behind her. When they came into the barbershop, they walked directly at me, fussing and screaming, they gonna kick my... They're going to beat me up because they were saying I didn't have a license to break in that barbershop. Her mother hit me in my chest, and then she jumped in my face and dared me to hit her mother back. So I grabbed my rat tail comb and yelled for them to get out of the building. They left from out the building, but they continued to kick on the door, and that's when I called the police. And then I notified Ms. McGee about the incident that just occurred.
Okay. Do you have photographs of the door?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, step up, Ms. McGee, please. Okay, let's hear you.
She's only telling half of the story. First of all, she testified in court that when we came to the shop, we kicked it in before we even came in. That was a lie. Before we could even say anything to her, she said, "May I help you?" And I asked her, "What's the problem with you and my sister?" I never had a problem with Miss Jones. So I felt like it wouldn't be a problem for me to talk to her like an adult. I'm 21 years old. I asked her,
why did you bring your boyfriend and your mother along?
We were all in the same car. We had just came from downtown trying to get restraining orders on her. They told us we couldn't get a restraining order because there was no domestic violence.
But they did.
I asked Ms. Jones what was the problem between her and my sister. She stated there was no problem. And I said, well, there obviously is a problem. You keep calling my sister, coming to her house, getting her fired from off her job. There must be a problem.
I want to explain something to Ms. Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
That is not what you said to her.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what I said
Dixon,
to her.
That's what you maybe were thinking before you got there. But that's not what you said to her when you walked in.
Yes, ma'am. That is exactly
no, I don't believe
what
you.
I said.
I don't believe you.
Well, madam, that's exactly what I said.
It's not what you said.
As the confrontation went on, the reason why we got so heated into a big argument is because when I asked her again, what was the problem? Why can't she leave my sister alone? She threw a nasty sexual slur. She said, well, I think your sister's I think she wants to eat me. That's where the conversation got heated. It wasn't heated in the beginning.
Just a second. Did she hit you?
No, ma'am. There was no
just a second.
me and her.
So she said something that you didn't like about your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
That's why I didn't hit her. I never hit her.
But then you said it became more heated. How did it become more heated?
Because that is what upset me.
What did you do when it upset you?
We started fussing.
Explain to me fussing. I want to know what fussing means.
Well, I said, well, you need to leave my sister alone. Stop calling her house. Stop harassing her.
Exactly like you're saying it to me. You need to stop calling my sister's house and not harassing her. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you said to her?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't believe you. Where was your boyfriend when all this was going on?
Standing near the door. The shop isn't that big.
I don't have to hear it.
But it's so much missing, Your Honor.
I don't care what's missing. Listen to me carefully. You're the adult. You have your daughter and you have your daughter's boyfriend. If your two children are intent on having a confrontation with somebody, it is your responsibility as a mother to say, let's not get into what is potentially an altercation. According to your daughter, you had already been to the authorities to try to get a protective order against her that day. So you're going there and you are really angry. And you don't go there by yourself. He's standing at the door and the two of you walk in. Whatever happens that day in your confrontation, her door is damaged.
It didn't happen like that, Your Honor.
Oh, listen to me.
She perjured herself then, and she's perjuring herself now.
Listen to me. I don't care.
She perjured herself then, and she's perjuring herself now.
Miss Dixon, I don't care if this door got broken because she slammed the door. It's still your fault. You made an error in judgment by allowing your daughter and her boyfriend to confront Miss Jones in Miss McGee's shop. And if this door got broken with your foot, or your foot, it's still your fault. Let me see a bill for the door.
It did not happen.
Let me see the bill for the door. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $715. That's all. Step out.
What is our excuse?
You will have a problem, too, if you're working in a shop beside me and it's like 12, 13 people waiting to get their hair done and no one wants to sit in your chair.
She is the jealous one. She's the one that's uneducated, and she's always having a problem with me because I'm the one that's actually in school doing something with my life.
Drama, nobody wants drama. We just want to work.
Housekeeper Deborah Gilbert is suing her cousin, grill cook Danielle Roberts, for damage to her belongings. Deborah says that while babysitting Danielle's children, one of them set the room on fire.
According to your complaint, Ms. Gilbert, you took in your cousin and her children into your home because they really had no place to go.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're suing her because you claim that her 2-year-old child started a fire in your bedroom, and you want her to compensate you for the damage that that fire caused.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened on the night of this fire. Where was Miss Roberts?
At work at the Waffle House.
And who was watching her children?
Her children were home with me.
And how old are her children?
The twins are 12.
12-year-old twins and the 2-year-old boy.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me what happened with the 2-year-old.
When Miss Roberts left to go to work, she put the kids in the room that they slept in. He was to watch TV while the twins did their homework. However, they could not control him. At that time, one of my grandchildren was there visiting. She and I were in the bed, the twins.
How old was your grandchild who was visiting?
She was 2 also.
So your 2-year-old granddaughter was in your bed?
Yes, she was in my bed asleep.
Go ahead.
The twins kept screaming and hollering, and finally they said, Auntie, you need to get Rondarius because he won't stop. He just keep acting bad.
Mm-hmm.
So they came again and said, Auntie, you need to let Rondarius come in here with you. We got to do our homework. So I said, okay, just bring him and let him sit right there in the chair. One of the twins, Tanika, put him in the recliner. And I said, Rondarius, be quiet. I said, because Auntie is going to sleep. And he would just sit there in the chair, and he still made noise. And I guess sometime or another, I dozed off. The next thing I know is that my daughter came into the room and said, get up, it's a fire.
What started the fire?
I had up on a table, I was burning a scented candle. And I don't know if he put paper or if he put some clothes on the fire and started the fire.
Just a second. So what you're telling me is he was able to reach that candle.
Yes, he was.
Then you should have watched him more carefully.
It was not my responsibility.
Yes, ma'am, it was your responsibility.
No, it was not.
Oh, yes, it was,
No, it
Miss
was
Gilbert.
not.
I'm speaking. You're not.
Okay.
She's at work. You assumed responsibility for your 2-year-old cousin when you said, come on into the room, put him in the chair, and you've got 2 babies in there, 2 years old. What you are doing, burning a candle, I have no idea. Why you would sue this lady, you're lucky she's not suing you. You're the adult. You're supposed to make sure that the children are safe. You fell asleep in a room with a lighted candle with 2 2-year-olds, and one of them was awake. One of them was brought into your room because his sisters couldn't control him. And you tell him to go sit in the recliner and behave while you fell asleep? Miss Gilbert, don't be ridiculous. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I never committed to her to watch her kids.
I didn't even know anyone there to get a babysitter, so
I was not the babysitter.
I left them there with her.
If the twins could not watch him, then she should have hired a babysitter.
She went to sleep on him. She said it herself.
Truck driver Robert Tippett is suing his ex-roommate, housing specialist Sally Coleman, for the return of his personal property. Sally says she kicked him out when he kicked in her door and attacked her. She is countersuing for the attack and for unpaid rent and storage fees.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 373 on the calendar in the matter of Tippett versus Coleman. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Tippett, according to what I've read, you met the defendant in some sort of a chat place on the internet.
Correct.
And then there came a time when you moved into her home.
That's correct.
And it is your claim that she kept and or sold some of your personal property when she locked you out of the house at some point after an altercation.
That's correct.
Ms. Coleman says that she has none of your personal property, that you were abusive to her, that you choked her, were assaultive. That's the reason you were locked out of the house. And that you did have certain property there, some of which you took, and the rest of it she tried to get you to come and get several times. You didn't come and get the property. She put it out and she disposed of it. She's counterclaiming for the assault. She's counterclaiming for some rent that she says you owe her, and for storage fees for storing the property that you left behind. That's nonsense.
Right.
You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When did you move in with her and why, Mr. Tippett?
I moved in on April 7th of this year, 2003. The reason I moved in with her is I was going to be homeless or having to move back in with my mother in Atlanta, Georgia.
Why?
For being unemployed for an extended period of time, and I was writing a book.
Is what you're telling me is that you planned on moving in with Miss Coleman and not paying any money to her?
There was an arrangement for me to pay weekly $70.
Did you have your own room?
No, I slept on the sofa in the living room.
Okay. So now you're living there and you move in on the 7th of April.
Correct.
2003. When did you move out?
Well, I left on the 30th of August. I didn't move on the 30th of August. I was not allowed to get anything.
Well, why don't you tell me what happened?
On the 29th of August, I went out to get some dinner, and when I returned around 8:30, 8:45, the door had been deadbolted from the inside. I knocked on the door, spent 30 minutes outside using cell phone, calling 911 to get assistance to have her open the door to let me in. She refused to open the door, and she refused to open the door because she said I owed her $30, and I had paid her $40 cash that Friday, and the $30 that I did not pay her, I explained to her, was because I had spent $20 filling her car up with gas that Monday, and twice during the week when she had no money, I had loaned her $5 each time for lunch at work. So the reason she barred the door and was not going to let me back in was because I owed her $30.
Did you get any of your property at any time after August 30th?
Well, I stayed the night after the police came and were called after I kicked the door in.
Oh, so you kicked the door in?
Well, I kicked it once and the door opened and it shattered the door jamb. So yes, I kicked the door in.
Were the police with you when you kicked the door in?
Were the police what?
With you?
No.
Well, what happened when you kicked the door in?
Well, I had a burrito that had been going cold for about an hour. I sat down on the sofa and ate it.
What'd she do when you kicked the door in?
She called the police, and I sat and waited and let her know when the police had arrived, and we talked to the police when they got there.
And you stayed the night that night? Is that right?
Yes, I did.
And you left the next day?
Left the next day.
What did you leave?
I left everything.
Like what's everything?
All of my computer, my bed, most of my clothing, every belonging that I had other than what I could carry in my arms.
Did you ever get your computer?
No, I did not.
Where's his computer?
I had to sell it to pay for glasses after 3 weeks of him not coming back to get it, and I had to have glasses for work, and I had no money to pay for it. That he broke.
How much did you get for
I got
computer?
$150, and I brought.
What else did you sell?
That's all I sold.
Where's his bed?
The bed is at my apartment. He gave me the bed before he moved in because mine was too short for him to sleep on, and he didn't have a place to store mine.
I thought he was sleeping on the sofa.
He didn't want to sleep on the sofa after he moved in. He wanted me to sleep on the sofa because he worked harder than I did, and the sofa was too short for him.
Did he come back to the house with a police officer to get his other property?
No, we tried to get him to. The lieutenant that investigated the case and he was supposed to have taken his stuff the day he assaulted me. He would not make an effort.
I want you to tell me about the assault, Ms. Coleman.
Okay.
He kicked in the door.
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened when he kicked in the door?
He took my cell phone and the home phones and kept them to himself that night so that I could not call the police. This was after the door had been broken down, and it took him 30 minutes to knock down that door with a deadbolt on. It wasn't just one time. He kicked it all, and all the neighbors called the cops. I had 5 sets.
Why had you locked him out?
Because he would not pay rent. I told him the only way you're going to stay with me is if we get your own room, and your name is going to go on the lease, so you're obligated to pay the rent. He would not do that. He said he wasn't going to pay me rent, he wasn't going to pay anything. That I could get a 2-bedroom, but I could pay for it myself. And I had gone to work. He had a job, but he quit it because he didn't want to work. He wanted to write his book, and he wanted me to support him while he did that.
What was the entire rent on the apartment?
$600, $589 actually a month.
That includes all the utilities?
No, ma'am. He had to have cable TV, so we had the cable TV. We had electric. We had phone that he called his mother on. Also, when he moved in, he agreed to go to work and pay me rent. After a month, I had to make him go to work. I called the cops. I wanted him to leave. He would not leave. He said he refused to leave.
Robert Tippett says ex-roommate Sally Coleman owes for the return of his belongings. Sally says she kicked him out because he tried to choke her.
Mr. Tippett, I'm not buying it, sir. You kicked in the door. Who did you expect to pay for the door?
Oh, I was quite prepared to pay for the door.
Good, you just did with your computer.
What?
You just did with your computer. Paid for the door that you kicked in.
And also my glasses that he broke during the assault.
Well, tell me about the assault. When was this assault? As far as I heard, he broke down the door and came in and sat down on the couch and ate a burrito.
Right. He told the police that he would leave the next morning. He agreed to. I knew he had a paycheck in his pocket, which he wouldn't share with me as usual. And he said he would get all his stuff the next morning. It was like 11 o'clock the next morning. He still was making no effort to leave. I started putting his stuff on the couch. I said, okay, get your stuff. Get out of my house. He wouldn't make any effort. So I started to take his stuff out and put it on the porch. He grabbed me by the hair, slung me around, slung me on the floor, put his arm around my neck, tried to choke me until I almost fainted. Then he pulled me up off the floor by the hair on the back of my head and told me he was going to kill me for what I'd done to him.
Is that right, Mr. Tippett?
No, it's complete fabrication, Your Honor.
Really? I mean, none of this happened.
I have
Your
a
Honor,
police
this
report.
woman is a liar, and she has a history of doing things that prove that she's a liar.
Mr. Tippett,
As this
Mr.
evidence shows right here that
Sure,
I
let
owed
me
her
see it.
nothing. This is where I went down and paid the Fort Worth court $309.98 just a couple of weeks before this event even occurred.
Yes.
That's why she had no money, and I loaned her $10.
For what?
That was my...
That was for writing bad checks, and she called me several times during the day on that day and said that she was going to be arrested for not being able to pay that $309.98.
That was my money. He got my paycheck and took it down there to pay because he
That's a
wasn't
lie,
working,
Your Honor.
and I couldn't
That's
get
a
off
lie.
work to go.
That is a receipt that has my name on it.
I know it has your name on it. She said it was her money. Where'd you get $309.98 from?
That was money that I had
From where?
from work.
What work? You told me you didn't have a job.
I never told you that. I was an independent contractor for a local courier service in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I worked it was 5 to 6 days a week from 8 till 5.
Mr. Tippett, Mr. Tippett, don't think so. Who are you?
A friend of Robert's.
Is he living with you now?
No.
Good.
I have a...
Shh. Stand up. How long have you been his friend?
Since September, the mid-September of this year.
Of this year?
Correct.
Oh, then you know nothing.
Okay.
Sit down. Except for one thing. How many days a week was he working starting in mid-September?
He started work in, I think it was right at the beginning of October.
Thank you. Sit down.
You're welcome.
Happy. Your computer paid for the kick-down door. Listen to me very carefully. Is he out of your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you change
Thank
the
you.
locks?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Goodbye. Have a happy life. Don't take anybody into your home that you
Right.
met on the internet. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Goodbye. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was so hostile to me that I couldn't stand to leave. I was afraid of him.
That's total fabrication.
The final straw was when he kicked down my door and assaulted me.
I kicked the door in. That's all I did.
Live by myself the rest of my life.
Get a dog.
Executive search consultant David Balunas is suing his former employee, 23-year-old waitress Erin White, for an unpaid loan to buy a car. Erin says David gave her the money with the hopes of having a relationship.
Mr. Balunas, you claim a loan to the defendant for a car.
Correct.
And she said there was never a loan, that you made a gift to her of this money for the car. And in addition to that, she says that she did some work for you. How do you know her?
We had met when I was working on one of my rental properties. Erin approached me and asked if she could help out on some of the properties in order to supplement her income.
Help out doing what?
Painting, cleaning, wallpapering.
What kind of rental properties do you have?
I have townhomes, condominiums, and some single-family homes.
And did she do any work for you?
Yes, she did.
When did she start to do work for you?
She began work someplace in the neighborhood of 7903.
Tell me about the car loan.
The car loan is something that she requested of me. I know she had a difficult time getting around town, and she first approached me and asked for a loan for $2,000, saying she didn't have quite enough to be able to buy the car. And then in the next conversation, she came to the office and said, "Can you make it $2,500?"
And when was that, sir?
That was the day that I wrote the check, which would have been August the 21st of this year.
So she had already been doing work for you since July
Correct.
and been paid.
Correct.
So you gave her a check for $2,500. What was the agreement as far as repayment?
A repayment I had actually, because Erin, at least at that time, said she was interested in doing more work. I thought my downside risk was somewhat limited, and she seemed like a reasonable person. So I had her sign a promissory note as well as an amortization schedule.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
Okay.
May I also see that, please?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
On the money that I had borrowed from Mr. Blennis, there was a period of time that was for about a week and a half before I had asked for the money from him, which I was not paid. When I had gone back through, recaulked things, done my final cleaning, I had waxed down the cabinets, scrubbed the hardwood floors, which was, I feel, as far as $2,500 was payment for the work that I had done that week.
I didn't understand the word you just said. Is what you're trying to tell me?
As far as the $2,500.
I'm speaking.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Says former employee Erin White owes for an unpaid car loan. Erin says David was trying to buy her affections.
Ms. White, is what you're telling me that after you received this loan, which you now acknowledge was a loan, is that right?
As far as the loan, yes. You asked me a question.
No, I didn't ask you. No, listen to me. Listen to me. Ms. White, what happened was you said, may I see that?
Correct.
And I said yes. And I handed it to you, and then you started to speak. I didn't ask you any question at all. But since you did volunteer to speak,
okay,
I want to try to understand what you're telling me now.
Okay.
You did use the word when I took the loan from Mr. Blunis.
Right.
For $2,500, I then went back to the condominiums and did some caulking and did some cleaning down of cabinets and did some polishing, and that was to be used towards this $2,500 loan?
No, ma'am.
Oh, well, then you want to explain it to me?
Okay.
Let's start out with, there was therefore, Bert, can I have that?
Sure.
There was therefore a loan for $2,500.
Correct.
Good. Now, I say this because I've read your answer very carefully that you swore to.
Right.
And in your answer, you never say that there was a loan. In your answer, you say, the money the plaintiff is asking for is money he willingly gave me to buy a car. I compensated him through work that I did. And then, of course, you say that the reason he gave you this money was because he wanted more of a social relationship than anything else. That's what you also claim in here. But nothing in here, so you don't acknowledge a loan in any way.
May I speak?
And you also say here, I never signed an agreement to pay him anything.
Okay, may I speak now to try to counteract with what you're saying? The paper that I signed, if it was a loan or not, a loan may mean advancement of either the money as far as I can work off to pay you back the loan, or I can give you money for back the loan. As far as me working it off or me giving him, it's the same thing.
No, that's not true.
Well, to me,
no,
it
no,
is. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Dear, listen to me. If you sign an agreement that gives you a loan schedule, then what you do is have an accounting of, well, after I took out this loan and the September payment was due, I didn't give him a September payment, but I did caulking, painting, papering in the amount of $570, deducting that from the loan. You sign it, he signs it, and you deduct it.
But that's not what that was.
Well, then now you can explain it to me.
Okay. The money, I had asked Mr. Blennis for a loan, but prior to when he gave me the loan, there was a period of time which he hadn't paid me. I have two of my checks. He would give me pay stubs. You know, I would get copies of the checks every time I cashed them. But I had never gotten from that week. And for about a week, he was paying me around $600 a week.
Ms. White, is
to do my
what you're
work.
suggesting to me that before he gave you this money, you had worked for
Right.
him and he hadn't compensated you?
Right.
That's bull.
Whatever.
Because you are an intelligent, articulate woman. And as an intelligent, articulate woman, you would never have signed a loan agreement that said that you owed him this money plus 8% interest. You would have said, well, before I'm speaking. Before I sign this, let's deduct what you owe me. So instead of $2,500, I worked for you for this week and that week, and you hadn't paid me, so that I only owe you $1,600. And you would not have signed a payment schedule for him.
I didn't know that's what I signed. I was in a hurry to leave. So I kind of just ran through and signed my name on the things, knowing that I was going to work off the money to him.
Is this a witness for anything?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. To what?
To the fact that he knows how many times I tried to contact Mr. Blennis, I could get no answer. The lady that rents from Mr. Blennis...
Just contact him for what?
He says I've had a hard time getting... that I never called him back. I did try to call him back. I left messages with his office. I mean, I can't go pay off
for
the
what?
money.
He didn't say anything about not calling him back.
But I'm supposed to be in... This was my only means of money at that time. I had no job but him. So how
then
am I
what
supposed
you're
to pay
telling...
him
Listen
back
to me.
other than by my labor?
You don't want to say anything, do you?
Well,
You want to say?
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
you want to say
Yeah.
something? Are you sure you want to say
yeah,
something?
Possibly.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you. Go ahead.
I just wanted to make the statement that she was supposed to my knowledge, was supposed to work off the money that he gave her. It was supposed to be in where he loaned her the money and she did work for his company, and they was going to deduct that from the payment.
Thank you very much. Sit down.
All right.
May I say something else?
Let me explain something to you, sir. That's not what she just told me. What she just told me was that she had already worked for him and he hadn't paid her.
That's also it.
Just a second. She had already done work for him and he hadn't paid her. And a big chunk of this money was for money that he already owed her. Are you following me?
I'm following you. It was supposed
Good!
All right, well, you don't have to scream. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know why you're here.
Well, cause I'm being a witness, that's why.
Well, you have nothing important to say.
Okay,
Judgment for the
whatever.
plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. Pay your bills.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I firmly believe that if Erin put as much energy into doing creative work as she does into creative.
Plane enthusiast John Gustafson is suing Randy Stark for the cost of a remote control airplane. John says Randy won't return a plane that crashed in his yard.
Yeah, this is case number 337 on the calendar in the matter of Gustafson versus Stark. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Gustafson, I've read your complaint, and I assume from reading your complaint that you have a hobby.
Yes, ma'am.
And your hobby is flying model planes.
Radio-controlled planes, yes.
And they're large. Is that...
Some are, yes.
Are those the pieces of the plane that fell on the defendant's property?
Yes, it does look like that, yes.
Okay. And so they're large?
Yes.
I see the picture. Your complaint is that one of these planes, I assume that one, fell on Mr. Stark's property, and he refuses to return the pieces to you. And the pieces of the plane, although it doesn't look as if it can be repaired, can be put back together again. It's an expensive hobby. It's an expensive piece of equipment. And you're suing him for $500 and some odd or the return of your plane.
That's correct.
Mr. Stark says you've been a nuisance. You and your entire flying club have been a nuisance for a long time. He has property. He can't enjoy the use of his property because of your planes. He's asked you not to fly the planes over his property. There are other places that you can fly them, and he has no intention of returning your plane to you, and he is counterclaiming in the same amount as your claim for harassment, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long, Mr. Gustafson, have you been flying these model planes?
12 years, ma'am.
And how far do you live from Mr. Stark's property?
About 7 miles.
So you travel to the area of Mr.
Yes.
Stark's property in order to fly your planes?
That is correct. That is a flying site the city has provided us.
What do you mean the city has provided you with the flying?
The city has leased us the land over an old landfill.
Surrounding that landfill, you have property. Some of the property belongs to the Starks, and I assume there's other property around the landfill. Who does that belong to?
Various people there. I think there's 7 or 8 homes.
Is there any vacant land there?
Beyond the site is a national refuge. So we're flying on the border, at least a portion of the site is located at the landfill.
You have the ability to fly your plane, since they're radio controlled, over the national refuge.
No, we don't.
Why is that?
We can only fly the planes where we can see them. If you can't see it, you can't control the plane. And so we generally fly over the 80 acres of land that the city has provided us.
And Mr. Stark's property is beyond those 80 acres?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how many times, to your knowledge, have your planes gone beyond the 80 acres onto Mr. Stark's property?
My planes?
Any of the planes belonging to your flying club?
I would suspect that there were a number of times that planes have flown over his property.
How many times have the planes crashed on his property?
Only one that I know of, mine specifically.
Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
How many times have planes crashed on your property?
In approximately 5 years, 4, Your Honor.
How do you know they crashed on your property?
They would come over trying to look for their planes.
Who lives on your property?
My wife and myself.
Just the two of you?
Yes, ma'am.
When did this plane crash on the Starks' property?
July 28th of this year.
Was this the first time you had had any contact with Mr. Stark?
No.
When for the first time did you have contact with Mr. Stark?
He came onto our flying site about 3 years ago, taking pictures of the fellows that were flying.
Did he ever register a complaint to you with regard to flying over his property?
No, ma'am, he did not.
Is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
You've registered a complaint to Mr. Gustafson?
To the Model Airplane Flying Club, Your Honor.
May I see that complaint?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, this letter is dated May 9th, 2001. It's to Mr. who I assume is the president of your flying club.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it seems to indicate that there's been an ongoing problem with planes flying over the Starks property, that they've tried to resolve the matter because these planes buzz their house as they come over the property. And somebody called the police alleging that the Starks, or Mr. Stark, was shooting at the planes. And the biggest problem with that accusation, according to this letter, is that they don't even own a gun. And this letter is to serve as notice that the next time one of your planes flies over their property, legal action will be taken. Also, this letter is to serve as notice that no one who is participating in any activity of the flying club is allowed to come on the Stark's property to retrieve any plane or other item that lands on his property as a result of a plane flying overhead. Lastly, my clients will treat any article that comes onto their property illegally as litter. Now, I assume, Mr. Gustafson, that you received a copy of this letter, as did everyone else in the flying club.
I think we were.
Of course
I don't
you were.
recall it.
Of course you were, because that's what Mr. Blair would have done. He would have sent this out. He would have said, listen, I don't think that he has a leg to stand on, but he's had an attorney send us this letter. Nothing happened as a result of this letter, I assume.
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, Mr. Gustafson, on the 28th of July, you're flying your plane and it crashed on their property.
That is correct.
You went over to get the plane?
I did not. We had to locate it first. We noted then that it was on Mr. Stark's property. Knowing that we couldn't go on there...
well, you knew that then as a result of this letter?
Yes.
So you do remember getting the letter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Decided that we would call the police to get an escort to the property. And Mr. Stark, I apologized for the incident. I told him that I was insured. If there was any damage, I would take care of that. There was no damage. He said he would keep the plane.
That's what he said he was going to do?
Yep.
Do you fly over anybody else's home?
I don't believe so.
Why do you pick Mr. Stark's home to fly over, sir?
His home is located where, from a safety standpoint, when we are bringing the planes around, it occasionally could go over the house.
Listen to me, sir. Whose safety?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Model airplane enthusiast John Gustafson says Randy Stark won't return his remote control airplane. Randy says the plane crashed in his yard and he's keeping it.
You got a permit from what county to give you this landfill site?
From the city of Decatur.
And why do you think that they didn't give you a site in downtown Decatur?
Well, they actually replaced a site that we did have down there.
Why do you think that they didn't give you a site in downtown
To move
Decatur?
away from people.
That's right, Mr. Gustafson, because something that's that size and metal, if it lands and it goes out of control, can cut somebody's head off.
Yes, ma'am.
Can maim somebody, so that the city of Decatur says if you want to fly your planes, which is fun, you go out where there's just a lot of old garbage. We understand each other?
Yes.
That's fine. If you find, Mr. Gustafson, that you can't safely land your plane within those 80 acres, go someplace else. Why are you annoying these people? They have a right to peacefully enjoy their property. And I really think it's pretty obnoxious. You've chosen the safety of your plane over the safety of the Starks, you and the other members of your flying club. Because there are other homes there. Well, we don't fly over the other homes because it's a safety issue, not a safety issue for any of our members. It's a safety issue for our metal. Well, they're out doing gardening in their house, and all of a sudden this thing comes crashing down. Fortunately, it has not hurt them. Why do they have to wait until it hurts them? They can be having a party at their house. They can have children playing outside. They have to worry that somebody is going to be injured by one of these things that's falling out of the sky. That's outrageous. Okay? That is my common sense and emotional response. Having said that, let us assume, Mr. Stark, that somebody loses control of a car that they've been driving up and down a road near your home.
Yes, ma'am.
And you put them on notice. Don't speed in front of my house. And this car comes careening up your driveway, up your front lawn, and into your living room. You think you can keep the car?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
You got what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, you have a counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
And your counterclaim is for harassment.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
I'm going to hear you about that harassment.
Okay. Your Honor, I have a tape here showing the loudness of the airplanes when they come on my property, and also the tape of the plane actually crashing on my property.
I'd like to see it.
Right there, Your Honor, there's the divot that was put in my property by the nose of the airplane.
Mm-hmm. If that went into somebody's head, Mr. Gustafson, it would have killed him. You see, he has no choice, sir. He lives there. You have a choice. You have a choice to exercise your right to enjoy your hobby in a situation that is not dangerous to anybody else. This is potentially dangerous to the Starks. So I am totally unsympathetic with your position.
Yes, ma'am.
Totally. I also know from a legal perspective, that is his property if he wants it back. But it's going to cost you a whole lot of money, sir, to get it back. Do you understand? Because I believe that the Starks have a case based upon that, based upon what everybody knows about these things. They make a lot of noise. They're big things. You were certainly given a piece of property to fly over. If that piece of property wasn't big enough, ask Decatur to give you a bigger piece of property. In the meantime, you have no use for that. Is that right?
No, ma'am.
Good. You can have it back. It's going to cost you $2,500. You want it back?
Yes.
You got it. He gets the piece on your counterclaim. Judgment for $2,500. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I spent 8 years assembling the plane that crashed. Probably had $800 in it. And 12 minutes of flying time.
Basically, they just kept harassing me, and I couldn't get any relief, so I had no other choice but to hire us.
That was a contest that was scheduled, and they knew it was coming, and the cameras were there and ready.
I went from a nighttime job to a daytime job because I couldn't get no sleep.
I see Judge Judy's point. I think she probably did a valid job.
Yacht salesman Ryan Vogt is suing Joyce Mackey and her son, 22-year-old Stephen Mackey, for selling him a stolen car. Joyce and Stephen claim they had no idea the car was hot.
Well, this is a very interesting case because what I gather here is that there are really no bad guys, at least not these people. Mr. Vogt, you purchased a car that's almost 40 years old.
Correct.
From the defendant. And you paid the defendant some $4,400?
$4,400, correct.
And what happened was when you tried to register the car.
When I took the car to a professional Don Barry Mustang, he informed me that the car...
Did you try to register the car at any time?
Yes, I did.
I know you have your story that you want to tell your way. I don't have time.
Okay.
Because it's not a very difficult situation. There are no bad guys. When you try to register the car, you were told the car was stolen. The police came, took the car back, and gave it to its rightful owner. You want your $4,400 back from the defendant. The defendant says, I purchased the car about 10 years ago.
At least.
And you purchased it from some auction house. It was a 1965 or 66 Mustang that was barely drivable, and over the years you put lots of money in the car. You paid very little for it, I assume. How much did you pay for the car?
$400.
$400. But you put thousands into it because now it's like a little jewel. You wanted to use it for your son. I assume you're the son?
That's right, yes.
Okay. And you did, in fact, drive the car?
Yes, I did.
How long did you drive the car?
Ever since I was 16.
And how old are you now?
22.
22. So you drove it for a long time.
Yes.
Had a great time with it.
Great time.
I assume, right?
Yes.
And you registered the car in 3 states. You moved around from place to place. Nobody ever told you there was trouble with the car.
Correct.
So you said, what do you want from me? I didn't know the car was stolen. I didn't steal it. I bought it from...
Auto body and towing.
So that's the story. Who gets stuck? Did I make that fast?
Mm-hmm.
Is that about what the case is about?
Basically, yes.
Okay, good. That's why I'm here. So, Miss Mackey.
Yes.
He paid $4,400 for the car. He has no car, right?
Yes.
How many days did you drive the car, Mr. Vogt?
I had the car for about a year and a half.
And how many years did you drive the car?
Like five or so years.
And did you drive the car before you gave it to your son?
A little bit.
So say you drove the car 6 years, and you drove the car 1 year. See, do you see where I'm getting at? It's not fair for him to be out all this money. He only had a year's worth of pleasure out of this car. You had 6 years worth of pleasure out of this car. So do you think, as between the two of you, you're both innocents? Would you say they're innocent?
Yes.
They didn't steal the car, right?
No.
And you did have fun driving it for a year and a half, right?
Yes.
So you got to pay a little something for that, right?
Correct.
How much do you think you should pay for that?
I would say probably about $1,000.
That's reasonable. That comes down to $3,400, right?
Okay.
Let's say you put in $5,000 into the car in all the time that you had it.
That's about right.
That's about right? He's come down and he said, well, I think that for the year that I drove the car, it's about $1,000 a year. He drove the car for 5 years. Would you say you got $1,000 a year worth of pleasure out of your car?
I suppose so.
Right. So on balance, you got to give him $3,400. Are you following my logic?
Follow.
You could go ahead and you can go try to find the people that you purchased this car from if you didn't get clear title. But the law is pretty clear. You cannot pass good title to something that you never had good title for, even if you're innocent, because you're both innocent. So when I read the facts of this case, I say to myself, well, they're both innocent. Neither one of them stole the car. Neither one of them really even had any indication that there was something wrong with the title, because you purchased it from a towing company and the car was hardly drivable. You paid next to nothing on it because it was a mere shell. You paid good money for it because it was a hot car.
Correct.
Certainly, he can't go against the people, even if he finds them, who you purchased the car from, because he did not buy it from them. You can if you can find them. So, you owe him $3,400. Got it? Perfect. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
We gave him all of our information that we had for years. He had it there. He could have researched it instead of giving the car away.
It was returned to its rightful owner here in California, Escondido, California, and they have the car now.
He should have his fight with the state of California.
I got $3,400 out of my $4,400. I'm happy.
Garner and her husband Ronnie are suing Christina's sister, Dottie Carr, and her husband Richard for the cost of an exercise machine and mental distress.
Yes, this is case number 287 on the calendar in the matter of Garner versus Carr. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Garner, the defendant is your sister. Is
Yes,
that right?
ma'am.
And according to what I read, your sister sold you some sort of a exercise set.
A weight machine that wasn't all there, Your Honor.
She sold you a weight set.
Yes,
It was a used weight set.
Yes, ma'am.
She sold it to you for $200.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you eventually put it all together, you found, according to you, pieces missing. You want to return the weight set to your sister and get your money back. Correct. Not only do you want your $200 back that you paid for it, but you want an additional $1,300 for your mental distress. Your sister says that you had the weight set for a long time. You bought it as is, and she's not giving you your money back. Anybody have a picture of this weight set?
I do, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it, please.
I have a picture of the weight machine that we could not put together because all the poles weren't there that hold the weight machine
Listen
together.
to me. You'll have a chance.
Okay.
What does it do? I'm just looking at this.
Absolutely nothing right now because it can't go together. But it's for working out. It has the different...
It's the whole weight machine all around. It's got the biceps.
The home gym.
It's a whole full home gym.
Okay. When did you purchase this?
I believe we purchased it around February. We gave her the money for it.
February of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you take possession of it?
March or April.
March or April.
Was it March or was it April?
We'll say April.
Yeah.
And when did you give her the money for it?
Probably February.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you selling this for any particular reason?
We had a daughter who was in Children's Hospital for a long time, and I wasn't working, so I was pretty much having to sell everything I owned to help him pay the bills while I was staying in Little Rock.
Okay. Who used the weight machine in your house?
Nobody. It was in a storage building.
How long had it been in storage?
About 2 years.
Was it in a box or was it set up?
No, ma'am. It was just in pieces in the storage building.
Is that the way it was when your sister saw it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
I didn't see it in her storage building until her and I began to load it into the truck ourselves.
But when you saw
the last time I saw it, it was put together in her house in Texas, I believe.
It's a couple of years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
Several.
But when you saw it, when you were purchasing it,
I knew she had the machine. She told me that I could purchase it for $250. I said, well, we'll pay you $200. She said, okay, I need the money. And I never saw it before I told her I'd purchase it. She said it was in the storage. She needed it out. She needed the space. And I said, well, if it's usable, sure, I'll take it for $200.
When did you put it together?
Probably in June.
About June.
We left it in the same position it was when my sister brought it over because it is a heavy piece of equipment.
Okay.
So we left it in the position in the garage that it was and all the pieces exactly where they were. And she even came to my house saying, well, they should be there. And I said, no, ma'am. I said, so
Okay,
we
so
all
when you
looked
put it-
throughout the house and they were not
When you
there.
put it together, you found that there were certain pieces missing.
Correct.
Well, I tried to put it together, and I didn't know how to put it together, so I called her ex-husband. He's put it together about half a dozen times, so I called him. And I said, hey, could you come over and help me put this weight machine together? I had it halfway together. He walked in there and looked and says, hey, man, all the pieces ain't here.
So it wasn't until June that you discovered that all the pieces weren't there.
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you do when you discovered all the pieces weren't there?
We called her and told her that, hey, do you still have the poles? There was no hostility or anything. We said, there's pieces missing, can you check? Yeah, let me go check the storage. They may still be out there. So we went out there, and I even come to her.
You went?
Well, I called her, and she said...
No, I said, but
they
you
couldn't
went out
find-
with her.
After she couldn't find them. So I said, well, let's dig through. I physically helped her move everything out of her storage building.
And you couldn't find them?
And they were not there. But she had them stored previously at somebody else's house.
Whatever. Did you try to get other poles for the machine?
Well, we thought it would be up to her since she sold it to us, and she said she would get us the parts, and so we said, okay. A few weeks went by. I said, I would casually mention it because it upset her when I talked about it.
Fine.
So...
Because she probably didn't have the money to give you back the $200.
Correct. That's what we figured, so
Fine.
we decided that...
Good. Okay. And it's clear that some of the pieces were missing, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And your position is that she purchased it as is?
Yes. We did not know at the time that the poles were missing, and we offered to buy them.
So why didn't you?
Well, Your Honor, that's where I come in. I told them to email or get in touch with the company, find out how much the poles cost. I would replace them.
Mm-hmm.
They come 2 weeks later, said they tried to email the company, and the company would not respond to their email. I had a person I work with email the company because I don't have internet at work.
Okay.
And I got a response the next night.
And the response was?
Model and serial number off of the weight machine.
Okay.
Contacted them. They said there wasn't one. I contacted the company back.
We said
and
we couldn't
told them.
find one, Your Honor.
They said they need pictures of it.
Okay?
I told them to get me pictures of it. I still haven't seen pictures of it.
Your Honor, they decided to get pictures of it after we had already told them, no, we don't want it. Please just give us our money back. They said this after the fact. I called her the last time. I said, Dottie, when are y'all coming out? You know, just being nice about it, because I didn't want to flat out say, hey, give me my money back. She said, what are we coming out for? And I said, aren't you going to take pictures of the machine? You said you needed pictures. And she said, no, you guys can do it. And I was like, well, you sold it to us, so I think it should be up to you.
Miss Garner, what you're doing then was being a little stubborn.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And Ronnie Garner claimed Christina's sister Dottie Carr and her husband Richard owe for the cost of an exercise machine and mental distress.
It's a very easy case legally to resolve, but what I'm telling you, between sisters, if you know that her life is not easy, then what you do is if you have a camera, or you get a Polaroid, or you buy an Instamatic camera for $5 that you can take a picture with and take it and send it to her, rather than say to her, why don't you come out because you sold it to us and you sold us.
That was after the fact that we had already told her we didn't want it anymore.
She's your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
So you should have taken.
I did.
Taken the picture.
I told her. I said, okay, fine. And she said, well, she threw the phone to Richard because I heard it hit, and she said, you talk to her. I'm tired of dealing with it.
Fine.
And this is the whole point where my case comes in, Your Honor.
This is what the law is generally. When you sell a product, unless there is a specific contract in writing that says that you are selling a product as is, it is assumed that the product is fit for the purpose for which it was intended. In this case, a weight machine. You do not have, I assume, a written contract with your sister that says that she purchased this item as is.
No, ma'am.
So that the general rule is that when you sell a weight machine, it's capable of being used as a weight machine, not as a clothes hanger, which most people use their weight machines for anyway after a while. So you get the weight machine back and they get their money back. And your aggravation, you don't get anything for aggravation.
It's not aggravation.
I'm aggravated all the time.
It's over him and our son.
She cussed me up in one side down the other.
In front of
our
9-year-old
son, and she wouldn't even return his calls.
Okay, fine.
And he was very upset with why his Aunt Dottie was acting this way.
Well, then you tell him that his Aunt Dottie, put your hand down. And you tell him that his Aunt Dottie was acting that way because she wasn't being a grown-up and she was upset.
And he was
but you don't get paid.
Upset.
Listen to me. You don't get paid for that in a court. It's unfortunate if that's what happened. It's sad. It's not right. But it doesn't mean that you can sue for it. I'm not your psychiatrist and I'm not your family therapist.
If this wasn't family, Your Honor, if she wasn't family, would we not get some kind of something for my son who is upset about this?
Not a farthing.
I would have
not
brought him with
a
me.
sou, not a yen, not a penny, nothing.
Okay.
But you get your $200 back, and they get the weight machine back.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff.
Your
in the
Honor,
amount
can you
of
make it where they
$200.
come and pick it up themselves? Because we've already delivered it to them one time.
Well,
Your
you
Honor,
put
I
it-
delivered it out there to start with when they purchased
No,
it.
no, sir, you weren't there.
Listen to me.
I
Listen, I have only one question. Do you want it back?
No.
No.
You don't
They
want it
bought
back?
it.
I don't
you
want the
she
weight
said,
machine.
you're going to pay for it anyway. Do you want it back?
No.
No.
You don't want it back?
We offered
Fine.
to make
Put
it
it
right,
out.
so-
It's trash. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It could have been taken care of a long time ago and we wouldn't have had to be doing this.
3 weeks, all we kept hearing was, Ronnie's mad, he's gonna sue.
The $1,300 was just to prove to my sister that I meant business.
She drags me thousands of miles away from my 18-month-old daughter on a ventilator. I don't need her in my life.
They needed a vacation anyway.
Student Victoria Morgan and her husband, Air Force Officer Gary Morgan, are suing Gary's mother, Office Clerk Denise Morgan, for the cost of a car. Denise claims the vehicle was a gift from the couple.
Mr. Morgan, this is your mom
Yes, ma'am.
and your mother-in-law.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Morgan, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Your children claim that they were helping you out about 3 years ago because you didn't have a car. And they bought a car for you, and it was their understanding, and you agreed to make all the payments on the car. This was your car. But for some reason, you didn't have enough credit or whatever to get a loan yourself. More recently, within the last few months, your kids needed a new car themselves, and with this loan that they had for you, they were not given a line of credit to purchase a new car for themselves. So they said to you, Mom, could you pay off the car or get the loan in your name because we really need a new car for ourselves? You have children?
2.
So what you did, according to them, was you said, here, take your car back. I just bought myself a new car. So they're stuck with a car that has how many miles on it?
Over 90,000.
There's over $4,000 that's still due and owing on the car, and the car isn't worth that much. So, in effect, your children say that you stiffed them. You tell a different story.
Yes, ma'am.
So the reason I'm coming to you is I want you to tell me your version of the story. Starting in the year 2000, you called your kids and said what?
Then my car had broken down, undrivable to go to work, and then I needed a little bit of help.
You need some help doing what?
I need some help with transportation to work because my car no longer runs. So they took upon themselves to purchase a car, put $500 down on it, so I would have a car for work.
Yes.
Which is very nice, very generous.
How much was the car altogether?
$8,433.15.
And what were the monthly payments?
$178.14.
You made all the payments for 3 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes.
Right, so then what happened?
My children had filed bankruptcy, and that's where they were not able to borrow money from any institution. So they called their mom. Mom, we need your help. Can we borrow, Mom, $4,000 out of your 401k? I tried to explain to them that this is something you do not borrow on. I'm 51 years old. That is my retirement. I am single. I need the money for my future. I said, well, what would it take to get the car off your back? They couldn't borrow money to get into their vehicle because the Tracer and their Malibu are already on their credit.
So part of what they say is accurate. The Tracer is the car that you were driving.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But I never agreed.
So part of the reason that they couldn't finance another car was because, as you said, the Tracer was on their back.
Right.
So they did ask you to get the Tracer off their back.
They did not at that time.
Did they subsequently ask you to get the Tracer off their back?
They did later.
And what did you say to them?
I said I would look into it.
You said you would look into what? Paying off?
No, I would never pay off the Tracer.
Why not?
It's not my vehicle. I never agreed to buy the car. I never signed any legal document of any kind. So when I got my new car,
Now, just a second. Let's get to the new car. When did you buy a new car?
August 12th.
What kind of car did you buy?
A 91 Solara.
And how much did you pay for it?
$14.99.
And how many miles did it have on it?
34,000.
So you got a much better car because you had already racked up 90,000 miles on the Tracer. Is that right?
No, I did not.
How many miles?
Tracer came with $64,000 already on it.
No, it came with how many miles on?
45,000.
45,000 miles. So you already put 45,000 miles on the Tracer. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So after you put on 45,000 miles on the Tracer, you bought a car with 34,000 miles and you paid $1,500 for it.
15,000, I think, Your Honor.
1,500 or 15? You said 14.
For the new car?
Yeah.
$14.99. 15,000.
15,000.
Right.
For a 1991 car?
Yes, ma'am. I'm making payments.
Anything else you want to tell me?
I tried to help my kids out the best I can.
You didn't help them out this time, Miss Morgan. What you did was really give them the short end of the stick. You got the front end of the dog, they got the rear end of the dog. You called, you asked them for help. Your children, who probably don't have a lot of money, put down a down payment on a car. I don't know whether you told her that you were going to do it. Did you?
No, they just drove it down.
We drove it down to her.
Okay, so it was a surprise.
Yes, absolutely. If
it was a surprise, Miss Morgan, is what you're telling me that it was a gift to her?
No, absolutely not. When we got there, my husband made it very clear to her how much we spent. We showed her the contract. She had the contract in her car for 3.5 years with how much we put down. He asked her for that immediately. She said that she would give that back when she could. 3.5 years later, we still haven't gotten it back.
You mean the down payment?
The down payment. And she knew that she was to pay the car
off. So she then agreed
the entire
to make the payments
on
the car?
And she did.
And she did for 3 years?
Yes, up until.
Right. And you had the responsibility to continue. And if you wanted to sell the car, you should have spoken to the children and said, listen, I want a better car. I want a car with less mileage on it. I'm going to sell it, even though at this point you probably can't get $4,000 for it unless somebody finds a patsy like you who's going to spend $15,000 on a 13-year-old car.
I couldn't pay off the car. It's not in my name. It's in his name.
Just a second. You can pay off the car. Just as they accepted your payments every month for the car, they would accept your payoff for the car.
I never intended on paying off that car. Never. When they told me that they wanted me to send them my 401k money, I went and bought myself a car.
Don't you understand what's going on here?
I understand.
They are now stuck with a car that you put 45,000 miles on, and if they turned around to sell it, they cannot get the payoff on the car. What's the blue book on the car? Do you have that?
$2,100 now.
Okay. They're out $2,000, which you would have been out if you went to sell. Clearly, you have a right to be really annoyed at your mother.
Yeah.
really annoyed. She did the absolute wrong thing. I don't know why she would do something like that. You needed their help 3 years ago. 3 years ago, they came to your aid. You drove a car, you drove it to the ground, and then when they said to you, listen, we need some help now. We need for you to pay off this car or put the loan in your name so that we can buy another car. You turn around and say, here, take the keys on this car that now has almost 100,000 miles on it. I'm going to buy myself a new one. That's absolutely outrageous. How much is left on the car?
Right now we owe $4,050.21 because we've been making the payments.
Fine, and the car is worth $2,000, so you could sell it for $2,000.
I
Is
got
that
a
right?
$1,000 offer on it, and that's the highest we've gotten, so I would like to sell it for that.
Well, I'm sorry, madam. What's the blue book on the car?
It's 21.5, and that's in fair condition.
I don't know. But if that's the blue book on the car, I have to have some measure of value. Because
Right.
if you would come here, Miss Morgan, and said, I've sold the car for $1,000, that would be your damage.
I have that.
You sold the car for
We
that?
are pending your approval. Yes, I have the money and everything. Here, I
Let me
have
see.
everything.
Let me see.
We have
Let me
a
see the blue book on the car.
We have a family on base that needs a car.
Listen.
We brought pictures to show you what condition the car's in.
I'd like to see it. This is marked fair condition.
And we did detail the car and all that kind of stuff to make it more sellable.
And you had it for sale for $4,000.
Right, trying to reduce our damages. When we spoke to our lawyer, he told us to put it out for $4,000 because as much as we could get for it would minimize her damages.
Right. I don't buy this, madam, for $1,000. I think you can do better, but I'm going to split the difference with you. I'm going to allow you $1,500 for the car.
Okay.
Good. Which still means that you're going to have a deficit of $2,500, which I'm awarding you on your lawsuit.
Okay.
You did the wrong thing to your children. I'm surprised at you, madam. Shame on you. Shame on you. That's all.
Shame on me.
Ladies are excused. You may step out.
It's pretty tough when your children do something like this to you. Whether I won or lost, that really didn't matter to me.
Kind of disappointed in my mom. I bent over backwards to help her out 3 years ago when she needed it, and she just dumped on me.
It's hard because you don't think your kids would go so low as to sue you.
It's pretty upsetting. I mean, I'm her only child, and you'd think that it would never come to this.
It's too bad it had to come to this.
Puni Curbelo is suing her former landlord, retired cosmetic rep Ellen Berdino, for the return of rent and personal property. Ellen says Puni and her husband were horrible tenants.
Now, this is case number 341 on the calendar, the matter of Curbelo versus Berdino. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Curbelo, you and your husband and child rented a room from the defendant. It is your claim that she owes you for rent and some property of yours that she kept when she evicted you.
Yes.
The defendant says that you and your husband were terrible to her, especially your husband, and that she really had to evict you because you were taking advantage of her, had done a series of terrible things to her, which she is, of course, going to tell me about, that she owes you no rent, and she, as far as the things that you say that she has that belong to you, she doesn't mention that at all. So do you have any property that belongs to the plaintiff?
The property that was left there was put into my garage. I informed this lady that if she would call 24 hours prior to her coming over, she could take everything she has.
Okay, so you can come and take the property whenever you want it.
Yeah, but the problem is because of the way that she behaves and the way that she put this fake restraining order on me, I am horrified to go over there to pick up anything.
Go with a police escort.
Okay, that's what I plan on doing.
Very easy. Go with a police escort. If she has a restraining order against you, I suggest that you do that. When did you rent the room from her?
We began renting the room from her at the beginning of March.
And how did you find the room?
My brother-in-law lived there, and my husband was going over there to help him with work around the house, and that's when he found out that she was going to be renting a room.
You say that she owes you for some rent.
Yes. Okay, can I just tell the whole thing how we even ended up here? Because we wouldn't be going through any of this if she would have just handed me an eviction notice or at least gave me notice that she wanted me out of the house, but which she did not do. That's how the restraining order came up, which was all lies.
Okay. Ms. Curbelo, let me try to simplify it, and I think that I can probably do it quickly. You moved in March, and according to your complaint, you took your son to the doctor sometime in July of 2003.
Yes.
When you took your child to the doctor did routine tests and found that the child had elevated levels of lead.
Right.
Okay? And you believe that the elevated levels of lead came from the defendant's home. So you contacted the health department. No. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. The health department comes out, or you tell her that you called the health department, and she is appalled that you called the health department, because they're going to come in, and if she's got lead paint in her house, they're going to say to her, you have to rip out all the walls, sand down all the walls. She'd much rather have you out of there. Right?
Right.
Right. I don't know what you were looking for her to do. Were you looking for her to spend $25,000 to redo all the paint in her house?
No.
She's an old lady. She's not worried about getting lead poisoning.
I understand
Good.
that, but the agreement was when we moved in there that I was going to help her with things around the house and that she was going to have my husband renovate all the other things that were wrong with the house. I have pictures here of her house plus a report from the health department of all the things that she should have taken care of. Now, had she
Miss Corbello, you were renting a room. Maybe she didn't want your husband to take care of everything. Listen, I'm going to read her answer to you. The husband, Oswaldo Corbello, began taking checks from my checkbook and proceeded to forge my signature. On April 15, 2003, I called the fraud department of Wells Fargo Bank and canceled my checking account. Later, he had stolen my ATM card and took every penny from my account. It was Wells Fargo that notified me of such. Okay, now, I'm not saying whether that's true or not true, but clearly she didn't want your husband to do all the renovations in her house. And she didn't want to have anything to do with him. That's what her answer says. In any event, what you chose to do, instead of saying to her, listen, we have a problem here, I can't continue to rent a room from you because it may be your house that's exposing my child to lead paint. That's, of course, if you're not watching him, because children don't breathe in this lead paint that's from eating the paint chips that fall off.
But I did warn her that they were coming.
Listen to me carefully. I don't care whether you warned her or not. Instead of calling the health department, you could have come and said to her, we're going to have to move out, because unless you do your whole house, I can't stay here with my family.
I did do that. I asked her for 2 weeks. I did do that.
Just a minute. Did you ask her for 2 weeks before or after you called the health department?
I told her that the health department was coming out.
Just answer my question.
I don't recall.
Of course. You already called the health department. Now, what rent money does she owe you?
I have receipts here for 4 months, $500, $300, $300, $300, and also a check for $950.
So why? Just a second. How much rent were you supposed to pay?
My rent was only $300 a month, so I was overpaid on the rent.
Just a second. You're going to have to explain to me why, if your rent was $300 a month, that you were giving her $400 a month or $500 a month. Can you explain that?
Yes.
Good. I'd like to.
The first month's rent was only supposed to be $300 plus $150.
Just a minute. How was that? I don't understand. I never heard of
$150 for deposit because we just moved in. But she kept complaining about, oh, your child needs this, and I need a high chair because I don't want him running around on the floor, and blah, yada, yada. My husband ended up just giving her $500, okay? Then the next 3 months, we ran into some financial problems, but my husband found a place that would help us pay the rent because she was harassing us so bad. So I found an agency that helps people that have problems with rent, that would help us pay for our rent until we were able to catch up.
How many months did you live there?
6 months.
The rent was $300. Even my rudimentary math tells me that you should have paid her $1,800.
We paid $1,400. The check that she received was $950, which is a total of $2,350.
Is that right?
No.
We have receipts right here. I can show them to you.
Those are receipts that he asked me to write when he was in jail so that he could obtain a check for me.
Her lies are getting bigger and bigger.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Corbello says former landlord Ellen Berdino won't return her property. Ellen says Pooney reported her to the health department.
When was he in jail?
May and June.
Where was he in jail? In what county?
Los Angeles.
What was he in jail for, do you know?
Domestic
Spousal abuse.
That was committed while in your home?
Yes.
Lovely. Perfect. So what you're telling me is these receipts, I want to see the receipts. These receipts were written at his request in order to obtain this $950 check from the government.
Yes.
I'm just asking her what she's saying.
That is such a lie.
Okay. If you paid her all these months that you were supposed to, and she's lying that these weren't just receipts in order to obtain this $950 check, then the County of Los Angeles will come back against her and get the $950.
Which they're going
but
to
there
do.
is no way in the world that I'm going to give you that money.
I'm not asking
You live
for
there.
it.
You are asking me for it. You said you want reimbursement for rent. That's what you're asking for in your lawsuit. Okay, so you don't get the reimbursement for rent. You do get your property. 5 days, go there with a police officer. Pain and suffering. What? Pain and suffering.
She sent my sister over to beat me up. These are pictures. After my sister did it, she went and picked her up so that she can come and see the damage and so she can get a good laugh, which she did. These are pictures. I really would like you to see those.
Just a second.
And I really wish you would look at these pictures of this house that we had to live in. It's not fair. She's sitting there sweet and demure like she's not a monster.
You are
And
not
she
in
is.
prison.
I'm not
You
saying
are not.
I was there
Listen
to help
me.
her, and we were supposed to help each other.
Are you related to this lady?
No, but I thought we were
listen,
friends.
You're not friends. She was renting you a room.
She's
Your
a friend
husband,
of the family,
listen
though.
to
That's
me.
the thing. We
No,
knew
Madam, you're not getting it. You moved into her house. You were supposed to pay rent. You moved in with your child and your husband. While you were in her home, your husband beat you up so badly he ended up in jail.
No, he
was
didn't
in jail.
beat me up. He
was in jail.
slapped me
What?
once.
Speak not. He was in jail. They don't put people in jail for the month of May and June for nothing. Not even in the county of Los
It was one
Angeles.
slap, and there was no marks when the police officer showed up.
Madam, was it the first time he was arrested for domestic violence? The answer is no, because then you don't go to jail for May and June if it's the first time that he slapped you. That doesn't happen. I sat in family court for many, many years. You're not going to get a dime from this lady. If you moved into her house and you didn't like it because it was a disaster, what you do is you, your husband, and your child pick up and leave. You're not serving a sentence, but you don't turn around and sue her. Ridiculous. And then expect this money that you got from the County of Los Angeles to be returned to you.
I'm not asking for that money.
You
I was
did.
asking for that money to be applied towards the rent. It was supposed to be for the first and the last month's rent and the deposit. That's what that was for.
No, if you can afford to pay your own rent, pay your own rent. And give the money back to the county. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye.
Hey.
She is a very vindictive, deceitful person. The detective has pictures of him at the ATM. He even borrowed my car, and you could see my car in the distance. I don't think I should be inviting anyone else into my home.
Marketing rep Keith Lake is suing his son, 23-year-old DVD duplicator Jonathan Lake, for an unpaid loan to buy a car. Jonathan says he paid back his father by sending him care packages in prison.
Mr. Lake, the defendant is your son, and according to your complaint, sir, you made a loan to him several years ago for the purpose of his buying a car. He made several payments and then ran into some financial difficulty. You want the balance of your money.
Correct.
Your son acknowledges that you did make this loan. I think it was for a little over $6,000. And acknowledges the fact that he stopped making payments when he had some.
Financial difficulties with my son.
But says that you forgave the loan. And he has a very interesting theory of how and when you forgave the loan. So why don't you, Mr. Lake, tell me why and when your dad forgave this loan?
Okay, in November of, what was it, last year, I believe it was, he ended up going into being incarcerated or whichever.
Not whichever. He ended up being incarcerated.
Incarcerated.
For what?
Tell you the truth, I really don't know.
For what, Mr. Lake?
DUI with injuries.
You hit somebody and caused physical injury while you were drunk.
Yes.
Was this your first DUI?
Yes.
Okay. How much time did you serve?
9 months.
So he was incarcerated.
And I had I got a call, and what happened was he ended up telling me that if I took care of him while he was incarcerated, such as care packages, when we got out, we were supposed to be square. And I turned around and I said, okay, fine. Well, he got out, and then I get I was told that we weren't.
How many care packages did you send him?
I sent him at least 4.
There's one.
Shh. You have receipts from those?
Actually, no, but I have a witness that was with me when I mailed them off. His name is Elliot Carruthers.
All right, Elliot, why don't you step up here? Tell me about this care package that you saw.
Sorry. Well, it's basically usual stuff like candy, cookies, and it was something about exactpackage.com.
So he didn't go and pack something. What he did was he called a company to send them to his father?
Your Honor, you can only get a package every 90 days. I didn't contact him till maybe after 4 months, 3 months I was inside. The package at the most was worth $100, and that's why I feel.
What did you say? What did you say to him when you called him?
I didn't call him. I sent him a letter. Okay.
What did the letter say?
That I was disappointed. I'm embarrassed that I'm busted where I'm at, and that I need him to, instead of paying me $400 a month, I asked for $200, $50 a week that I could spend there, because he had 2. I'd also just got out of jail on a suspended sentence. He was down for 90 days.
For
so
what?
I gave him 90.
For what?
Suspended license.
Why was your license suspended?
I'm originally from New Mexico, and when I moved out here, I had one ticket that I didn't know about in New Mexico. It was for like $80. And when I drove out here, I had been pulled over, didn't know it, and he said he couldn't let me drive, and I was taken in.
Well, first of all, you were taken in, not taken in.
Sorry.
There's no such word as taken.
My mother corrects me on that, too.
Well, good. I'm glad I'm making you feel at home. And they don't take you to jail for 90 days for that, sir. Let me explain something to you. They don't take in or otherwise you to jail for 90 days because you didn't realize that you had a ticket back in New Mexico that you didn't pay. So you want to think a little bit more closely as to why you served 90 days, sir?
I was also pulled in for exceeding the speed limit, going
well, now we're getting better.
Going 120 on a public street.
That might be worth 90 days. You were charged with reckless endangerment.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
They still come and they think they're smarter. Do you want to know why you're not smarter? If you ask Bird how many times he served 90 days in prison, you know what he's going to tell you? If you ask me how many times I served 90 days in prison, you know what I'm going to tell you? Does that make me smarter or you smarter?
It'd be you.
It would be me. And he.
And me.
So can I see the receipts for this send a care package to prison.com where you sent your father some care packages?
I was, okay, on that incident, I was married, and I had recently gotten divorced, and she had all these papers that we had just went through, and we got in an argument, and I was tossed out of the house, so I wasn't able to get any of them.
What do you want from me?
I don't know, ma'am.
How many pounds do you think these packages weighed?
They were up to 60.
What do you mean up to 60? You mean from 0 to 60?
Yes.
From 0 to 60?
Yes.
Because I read that in your answer. You said I sent him packages 4 times. Each one was 60 pounds. I said, what the hell, they sent him 60 pounds? They allow prisoners to get 60-pound packages right full of candy? Are they trying to kill them?
It's 30,
Listen,
Your Honor.
What?
It's 30 pounds. It's not 60.
How many pounds of candy did he send you?
2 pounds of candy, maybe been in there was coffee, a CD player. This was one-time shot, though. That was it. But I would never say, because of that one single package, that this thing is forgotten about. I asked him to come visit me. He never did. He promised to come down, didn't. I'm a little disappointed. You know, this is my son who, I know his mother and I were divorced when he was 10, but I sent him things all the time.
Oh, Mr. Lake, I wouldn't go there if I were you, sir. I just have a feeling that I wouldn't go there, that you were Father of the Year.
No, definitely not the best father in the year, that's a fact. But
I wouldn't go there, probably. Can I see proof with regard to this loan that you made him? I need your withdrawal for $6,500.
I don't have the withdrawal form.
Well, let me tell you this, Mr. Lake. I think that if you made this loan to your son, that this loan was not forgiven. However, I am not awarding you a judgment until I have received proof from you that you withdrew $6,500 from your bank Do I make myself clear?
Absolutely.
That's the judgment of the court. Judgment for the plaintiff. You owe your father the money with that proviso. Thank you very much. Step out.
I suppose it was fair. I could just produce a document and then this will all be over with.
I'm not denying the fact that he loaned it to me, but
27-year-old designer Rachel Cook is suing ex-boyfriend, car customizer Dan Mock, for household items they purchased over the 4 years they lived together.
Yeah, this is case number 367 on the calendar, the matter of Cook versus Mock. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Cook, it is your claim that the defendant kept some property that is rightfully yours after you broke up. You were in a long-term relationship, about 4 years, and lived together for all that time?
Correct.
Mr. Mock says you got whatever you're going to get.
yes.
So, when did you move in together and when did you leave?
We got together August 7th, 1999.
And when did you separate?
We broke up September 17th. I moved out October 1st.
What arrangements did you make with Mr. Mock about the division of property?
Well, him and my brother both loaded the items that we discussed as I was loading the truck that he said that I could have. I had taken one of the dressers and two of the nightstands for the bedroom set, and that was fine. And he said that, you know, his stuff was still in the one dresser and that, you know, as soon as he replaced it, he would deliver that item to my mother's house. The steamer and the vacuum cleaner, he wanted to clean the carpets and stuff before I took those. There was a blow-up pool for my son, and then also...
Did you have a child living with you?
Correct.
But this was not the child of this relationship. It was,
no.
How old is your son?
My son's 8 years old.
What items did you take with you?
I got one of the freezers, the washer and dryer. He said it wasn't a problem to take the washer and dryer. He was just going to replace them anyways.
Don't tell me. You're editorializing.
Sorry.
You got a freezer? Had you bought that freezer?
The freezer was given to us by his ex-sister-in-law.
Okay. So the answer is you did not buy the freezer?
No.
Did you buy the washer and dryer?
I bought the washer. The dryer was his brother's.
What else did you take?
As far as furniture?
Bedroom furniture. Who purchased it?
We purchased it together.
So you both paid for it?
Correct.
Is that right?
I paid for it.
All the furniture, all the bedroom furniture?
Yes.
Is that right?
No, that's incorrect. Both our money went into a joint account for the 4 years that we were together. We opened an account in March of 2000.
And you were employed?
Correct. I haven't been employed other than 3 weeks the entire time we've been together.
So when you say that you paid for it by check?
I actually paid for it by cash. What I would typically do would be to deposit a certain amount of my check into the joint account, and then I would keep a certain amount for myself or whatever.
For cash?
For cash.
Well, that's okay. That's the way you set up your finances, so that you didn't pay for it. It was paid for from joint money. Okay. What is it that you want now?
All I want is the items that on the day that I moved out and we loaded the truck, we discussed the electric skillet and we purchased off eBay that had not arrived yet.
Do you have a list of those things?
Yes, I do.
Let me see it, please.
They are right there.
Ms. Cook, don't be nervous. I only eat litigants on Thursday.
Sorry.
She wants a vanity-style dresser. Do you have that?
That is, yes, the dresser part of that bedroom set.
Okay. You have any problem giving her that?
Yes.
Why?
Out of the bedroom, I've kept that dresser. She's taken the bed, she's taken the nightstand, she's
so you want the dresser?
Oh, yeah, I would like to at least have a dresser.
You can have it. It's yours. It's his. You took the bed, you took the other dresser, now he's got that. That's it. Period. Listen, when two people are married and they live together, they have courts to decide about the division of property. Correct. When two people decide to live together and do a test run, we don't have courts for test runs. You two people put money in a joint bank account, which means that all the things that were purchased, according to you, correct, except the stuff that was given by his family, was purchased from the joint account. You took most of the bedroom furniture. He wants the dresser. He's got it. I'm the judge. Period. End of discussion. Over. Don't respond. Next. Steam cleaner.
The steam cleaner at the beginning of summer, I had given her the money to go to town to buy.
Don't tell me you gave her the money. So you both put money in the joint account. It's not your money. Did you tell her that she could have the steam cleaner?
No.
Okay.
Vacuum? I'd like to interject. My mother was there the day that he said that he would deliver all these items to my mother's house. My brother called.
He changed his mind.
But the day that he was served with papers.
In order to have a contract, you have to have an offer and acceptance, and there has to be some consideration. What was the consideration for him giving you all the property?
I didn't ask for any of the vehicles that were purchased. I didn't ask for reimbursement for any of the money for his mortgage payments. I didn't ask for reimbursement.
You don't get, let me explain something. You don't get reimbursement for money for his mortgage payments because you and your child were living there.
What about the $1,100 that's still owed on my mother's Lowe's account for items that are permanently part of that house? I couldn't take my garden window.
Let me explain something to you, my dear. You do not invest money in a home unless you're married.
Oh, I know that now.
Well, if you watched regularly, you would have known it before. You do not invest money in a house.
I thought that when he said that he would do something, that he was actually maybe for the first time going to do it.
Okay. Did you purchase an electric skillet on your account?
Yes.
Who paid for it?
I did.
Show me. Prove it.
I cannot prove it.
That's too bad. She gets the skillet. $400.
How much, ma'am?
Skillet? How much was the skillet?
This is the actual payment. We purchased it on eBay. This is the replacement
Just a second. Who's we? I thought you said you purchased it.
I purchased it. I paid for it. I purchased the...
From where did you get the money?
We bought it off eBay.
Not we. Where did you get the money?
eBay.
Where did you get the money?
I paid for it out of my paycheck after we split up.
Well, show me.
It's right there.
Okay, good. Is this what you showed me, $36?
Yes, but the replacement cost, I want the skillet.
It was purchased on September 8th. This was before you broke up.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I guess that I had that date wrong. But it was, I went in and paid for it.
I mean, it's sort of interesting that you say that the skillet is worth $400 and you
That's the replacement cost if I were to have to go buy it.
Oh, well, you don't get that, madam.
I want the skillet.
But you don't get that. You were living together. Correct. I told you, you have a problem. Your problem is things that were purchased from a joint account. Okay. Courts don't do that anymore. I mean, if I'm looking at any item here that looks as if, for instance, I have a small child's desk. Whose is that?
That is hers.
Where is it?
It is at her house.
No, it is not.
Her brother returned it for me.
You're the brother?
Who is that?
Step up.
Yes.
You're Miss Cook's brother?
Yes, I am.
You brought the child's desk where?
Over to where she is living at her mother's house. It is sitting on the front porch.
You don't get along with your sister, I assume?
No, not really.
Okay. What about an inflatable swimming pool?
The inflatable swimming pool. I'm sorry, ma'am, for laughing. It is at my house. It is in the garbage trailer. It was a $15.
It was $30.
Okay, it was a $30 inflatable pool that sat out in the sun all summer.
Well, if she wants to come over and get it, leave it out 5 days from today. If she wants to come and pick it up, she's going to pick it up.
Gladly.
Okay?
Yes.
Because that you don't sit in that, do you?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Jill Cook claims former lover Dan Mock will not return her things. Dan says she should move on with her life.
Miss Cook, my sense is that you're being pretty petty. Most of these things are not worth a lot of money. They have no sentimental value.
They do to me.
No, a swimming pool that you bought for $30 that is plastic doesn't have sentimental value.
No, but when we didn't have it, when we unloaded, my son cried. He wanted his desk, he wanted certain items.
Miss Cook, I can't tell you that you don't have the desk. Your brother says that the desk is on the porch in your house.
It was not there when we left.
Check again. My sense is that Mr. Mock is not lying to me. It seems to me that when you left, you took an awful lot of stuff with you. You loaded it in a truck.
But
You want more?
I paid for stuff into that house as well. And I feel that
Your problem is you feel as if because you invested money in a house that was not yours, that you can't take out of the house, you should be able to get the things that you can take out of the house.
But I didn't take everything that you can take out of there. I didn't take the desk. I told him he could have the computer desk that I paid for. Good. I didn't take the surround sound system, which, great, I have a big screen TV that he was kind enough to let me have that has no internal speaker. So without a sound system, it's pretty much worthless.
You mean you can't watch television on it?
You can watch television on it, but you can't hear it.
Well, you go get a little speaker and plug it in.
But I mean, that's the thing. I didn't take. We had two
You're being
surround
petty.
systems.
I don't know why, but this stuff here that you have here is nonsense. I mean, it's really nonsense.
But it's items that he said I could have, and he said in front of my mother that I could have, and the day they were served, they were going to deliver.
Listen to me. I'm not listening to your mother.
Okay.
Is there anything on her wish list that you feel as if you can part with?
Ma'am.
Just to answer my question,
No, ma'am.
sir. Nothing. It's all important to you.
Yes, ma'am.
It's all important to you. It's the only vacuum cleaner in your house.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
No, there's one out in the storage unit.
Is there another vacuum cleaner in the storage unit?
There may be. If there is, she's welcome.
And he has a new
Just
dresser.
shh. So you would have no objection to going to look and seeing if there is another vacuum cleaner that you might want to give her.
Yes, ma'am.
So I want you to do that. If you find it, you put it on the curb with the swimming pool.
Will do.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a happy life. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The real reason we were here was because I have a new girlfriend.
If he feels that I'm being petty and jealous over his convicted felon girlfriend, I'm really sorry, but she's not half the woman I am.
She's angry. She's upset.
He cheated on me, whether he wants to feel that he cheated on me or not.
She just can't. She can't let go.
I still love him. But you know what? I'm not in love with him. As far as I'm concerned, he is worse than scum.
She's just one of those people that is just never going to let go until she finally finds someone and moves on with her life.
I am back together with somebody extremely important in my life.
That's what she needs.
Musician Tori Mayak and his fiancée, 22-year-old business student Michelle Hoisington, are suing computer accounts manager William Gelhar for rent, bills, and death threats. William is countersuing for an ulcer caused by their death threats.
Whose last name is Hoisington? You're the girlfriend?
Yes.
And this is your home?
Yes, ma'am.
Yours and or your mother's?
Yes, it's in my mother's name, ma'am.
So it's your mother's home?
Yes.
You live there?
Yes.
The two of you believe that Mr. Gelhar owes you for security deposits, some rent, some utilities, and a whole lot of aggravation that you categorize as mental distress.
Most definitely, Your Honor.
And Mr. Gelhar says he owes you for nothing, but that you aggravated him into an ulcer, and he wants $5,000 for the ulcer. Right?
Correct.
Oh, everybody's in Never Never Land here. Mr. Gelhar, I'm going to deal with your mental distress first.
Okay.
You moved into their home, and you claimed that because they were such terrible people, they were involved in fighting and drugs and everything else, you developed an ulcer.
Yes, it did.
And that's your counterclaim.
Yes, it is.
Let's take care of it right now.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Forget it. If you don't like where you're living, you move.
Right.
Right? You weren't sentenced there. You weren't under house arrest. Nobody put a chain link fence on your foot and told you you had to stay in the house. They were aggravating you, you leave.
Exactly.
Okay, good. So, counterclaim over. Perfect. Now, next. This house is in your mother's name.
Correct.
Were you renting it from your mother?
I was living there with my mother and my auntie and my sister. They all had to move back to Wisconsin, where I'm originally from, for a family emergency. The landlord agreed to let us take over the lease, so we did at that time.
So this is a leased house?
Yes, correct.
And originally the lease was in your mother's name?
This is correct, yes.
Is it still in your mother's name?
Yes, this is correct.
So it's your mother's security deposit?
This is correct.
Now, who was he a friend of?
Your Honor, this man was a lifelong friend of mine. I've known him since, okay.
Good. He's a friend of yours.
Right.
Now, as far as I can gather here, he needed a place to stay because he was coming out of drug rehab.
He was homeless. He showed up at my doorstep with basically
Had you
two glad
been in
bags full of his
rehab
possessions.
programs?
Was never in any rehab. His girlfriend had kicked him out of his house, Your Honor. He showed up at my doorstep.
So he was homeless?
Yes, I was doing a good Samaritan deed, just letting him live at my house.
Everybody wants to talk. When you say you took him in, what arrangement did you make with him as far as rent? Did you make any or did your mother make it?
While he was living there with my mother, he was to pay $500 a month, which included phone, food, all utilities, and rent.
You were paying his mother $500 a month?
Yep.
Starting when?
Starting the day I moved in.
Which was when?
Which was about 8-9 months ago. I don't know. I can't remember.
What day?
February 2nd, Your Honor. He showed up at my door with two glad bags.
2203. He was paying $500. And how many months did you pay the $500?
Up until
June,
August.
Your Honor, when my mother moved back to Wisconsin due to a family illness.
Okay. When did she move back?
She moved on June 1st, Your Honor. She was gone.
Now, on June 1st, did you negotiate different terms with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
Because my mom wanted us to reimburse her for the security deposit, over $3,500 down. And we all agreed to it. We all agreed to that, Your Honor.
They discussed it with me.
And he agreed to it.
But the fact was, she was like, it's just like putting money in a bank and you'll get it when the lease is up, word for word.
And?
And I said, you know, I personally would not mind paying whatever I have to pay, but once things started breaking in the house and what have you, and my clothes got sold because I wasn't there, that to me ended any kind of verbal agreement we had.
So what rent does he owe you, sir?
Right now, he owes me for the month of October, plus he didn't pay it to me, so there's an $83.10 late fee.
Just a minute. You left me in June. Did he pay rent in July?
Oh, yeah, he paid rent for June, July, August, September.
And how much did he pay?
After my mom left, he paid $350 a month.
Okay. October, were you living there, sir?
No, I was out by September.
Was he there in October?
No.
Then he doesn't have to pay rent. So it's just October rent?
October rent plus the late fee plus all the money for a security deposit.
He doesn't owe you any money for security deposit, sir. You think he's going to come after you when you're finished living in that house a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and say, can I have my $1,200 back? And you're going to give him his $1,200 back?
Yes, I would have.
It's not going to happen.
Well, now he hasn't given me any money.
Absolutely right. When you have property, in order to have a valid contract, it has to be in writing.
I've known this man for 20 years since I was in the 9th grade.
So what are you doing here, Mr. Mayak? I don't understand what you're doing here.
Well, I have a close to $2,700 claim against this guy.
You don't have a $2,700 claim, sir. He doesn't have to pay you security deposit. He's not there. You don't even claim in your paperwork that he caused any damage to the property from the time he was living there until the day he moved out, which would suggest that he would be liable for any damage. However, after he moved out, it's possible that you were going to cause a great deal of damage, which means he'd be out of his security deposit 3 years from now. Why should he do that? That's stupid.
Your Honor, he also owes me...
you would agree that that would be stupid.
I'll agree with that.
Good. You would also agree, sir, that since you didn't have a lease, he is nowhere obligated to give you 30 days' notice if he's going to move out. So he left before October 1st, so he doesn't owe you for October's rent. And he was paid through September.
Your Honor, this man is a pathological liar.
You just told me that!
When his lips are moving, I know he's lying.
Mr. Mayak, I am not a pathological liar, sir.
I'm not saying you are, Your Honor.
You just told me he paid you rent through September, and what he didn't pay was October, and he didn't give you a 30-day notice. And I just told you he wasn't living there in October. He doesn't have to pay rent. You say he's a pathological liar.
Your Honor, he gave me a verbal agreement and a contract saying that he would give me a 1-month notice. He would be out on November 1st.
A contract for real estate unless it's in writing. I don't know what you think, Mr. Mayak. I mean, he's just as far out as you are. He wants $5,000 because you said you aggravated him when he was there. As ludicrous as your lawsuit. Listen to me. What utilities does he owe you for?
He owes me for $172.69 for the month of July, August, and September. I have the utility bills here with me.
Okay, that's what they say. Did you pay utilities during those months?
I paid my utilities, but as I went to Phoenix the first time and came back, Tori goes, look, I needed money, so I pawned some of your clothes and I pawned some stuff.
What did he pawn?
He pawned an $80 jacket and like 3 other dress shirts that I have.
No.
Just a minute. Did you tell him that you sold any of his property?
Your Honor, he had promised me on a payday that he was going to give me $50.
Towards utilities?
Yes, and he did not come through for that.
So what did you do?
At that time, I went into his room searching for anything that I could use to pay that bill, or else my utilities were going to be turned off.
And so what did you find, sir?
I found a jacket, and I got $10 for it.
Well, then consider that your utilities. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. Let's step out.
You know, he's was a lifelong friend, and I'm sorry I had to come to it.
There was no friendship.
I still love the guy, but, you know, it is what it is.
This guy's a punk. He's a pathological liar.
I can only reach out my hand for so much and get taken advantage of for so long before I have to cut him loose.
Whatever, man. I don't even have time for him anymore.
Found out that he was sleeping with a friend of mine.
Try to poison a pet snake of yours.
Yes, ma'am.
A single mom gets even with the dad.
She poured bleach all over your clothes. Why did you do that?
It's taking responsibility for your child.
That has nothing to do with the snake, you fool.
Well, it does.
Listen to me. Look here. Are you on medication?
Judge Judy.
As far as I'm concerned, you should not have custody of a child. I really think she's nutty.
Have a seat, please.
Mr. Reed, you and Miss Fishback had a relationship and you have a child together. How old is your child?
Should be 2 in July.
According to your complaint, you had some sort of an altercation with Miss Fishback and you separated.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Fishback, don't laugh.
I'm not laughing.
Good.
Okay.
And in retaliation, she went to your home. She really broke into your home, according to you. She got your keys and broke into your home. She poured bleach all over your clothes. She also tried to poison a pet snake of yours by putting bleach in the water. And you claim that she has continually harassed you and even assaulted you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll let her tell me about her defense. You tell me when you separated, sir.
Shortly after our daughter was born.
That was 2 years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
When was this incident with the clothes?
The incident with my clothes happened in February of last year.
Tell me about it.
Prior to this, you know, we had a daughter, and
Could you first of all, speak up and faster, because I have other things to do today.
I'm sorry.
Where are you from?
Georgia.
Things are slow in Georgia. I'm from Brooklyn. Things are speeded up a little.
Okay. On the night in question, me and my roommate, we have college night, and we was going to the club on Thursday. We went to the club. Miss Fishback showed up.
And you had already broken up at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Shortly after, I noticed she departed, but didn't think anything of it. I went home. My roommate went to his room. I went to mine, and I went in my closet, and I noticed there were spots all over my clothes. So I immediately looked to the ceiling to see if stuff was coming from the ceiling, because I didn't know where it was from.
And you noticed that your clothes were full of bleach.
Yeah.
You could take out one piece. You don't have to show me the whole thing.
Well, here's a sweater.
Okay, good.
And,
Clear. All right, Miss Fishback, you want to tell me why you poured bleach on his clothes?
Well, I poured bleach on his clothes because I found out that he was sleeping with a so-called friend of mine, but she turned out not to be my friend because she was sleeping with him.
Why didn't you pour bleach on her clothes?
Yeah, that's not...
Shh. I asked you a question. She was your friend.
She was, yeah.
Just listen to me. You poured bleach on his clothes, and you weren't together with him anymore. So he wasn't betraying you with sleeping with somebody else.
Yes, he was.
Your friend was betraying you if she was having...
Well, her too.
Well,
we dealt with her later.
How did you deal with her later?
Well, just with talking about it and let it be.
That's not true.
That is true.
Listen to me. Don't speak.
Yes.
Now I'm asking Miss Fishback. How did you deal with your friend later?
Well, we...
Who's we?
Well, not we, but
Could
myself.
you look at me? Look at my... Listen to me. Look here.
Okay, well, we talked about it, and she lied. And
so
I
what
found
did you
out
do?
she was lying. Then we talked about it some more, and that was it. I didn't do anything.
Well, so my question to you, Miss Fishback, pay
touch
attention.
her.
Pay careful attention.
I didn't hear what you said.
Pay, because you keep talking.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So what you have to do is pay attention.
Okay.
If your friend betrayed you, then you deal with your friend by talking. Now, you went into his room, because there wasn't even a question. I didn't ask you, did you do it? I said, why did you do it? Now you can tell me why you don't think you're financially responsible for it.
Because we...
Look over here.
I paid for some of those clothes.
So?
That were bleached. So they were mine.
They weren't yours.
Okay.
So, how much are the clothes worth, sir?
Well, there's no real way for me to...
Well, tell me what they are. Why don't you take them out? Let's take a look at them. How many sweaters? How many pants?
Well, I have in my police report that I filed an estimated number. There were some things left out that I just recently found.
You should have found them when you filed the police report in February of 2002.
It was the only thing that was left off was my leather jacket that my mom bought. It was in the very back of my closet. And from what I seen, you can't see it because it was sprayed from the back side of it.
You should have had a needed closet. Let me see another article of clothing.
This is the jacket I'm talking about. And
let me see another article of clothing. Nice clothes. How many shirts altogether?
I have 23 shirts.
Go ahead. What else?
14 pair of pants.
How many?
14 pair of pants.
You got 14 pairs of pants, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me about the snake.
Well, Miss Fishback did purchase a snake for me on my birthday.
That's a gift. What did you do to the snake?
It was in my cage. I didn't know at first, but then I have a...
Well, why don't we let Miss Fishback tell me what she did to the snake? What did you do to the snake, Miss Fishback?
I poured bleach in her tank.
You mean all over the tank?
No, just in her water bowl.
Why did you do that?
Because he doesn't need to have her.
You have custody of this 2-year-old child?
I do.
I would question your ability to parent a 2-year-old child.
Are you sure about that?
I am absolutely positive about that, madam. And I have more experience than you have years.
Okay.
Because if you are vicious enough, because you're in a snit over somebody sleeping with your old boyfriend, to try to kill a living being, then as far as I'm concerned, you should not have custody of a child.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you on medication?
No, I'm just sitting here listening to you. I'm waiting for you to tell me what I better learn.
You better learn to grow up.
And later today.
When did you leave the band?
The first week of May, when I found out that the defendant was messing around with my girlfriend.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ricky Reed says ex-girlfriend Tia Fishback bleached his clothes, tried to kill his pet snake, and assaulted him.
I sat in family court for a lot of years. Pouring bleach on his clothes, I can understand. I don't count that, and he's going to get paid because you had no right to do it. But I could understand somebody getting that angry and saying, I'm going to cut the pants in half, or I'm going to pour bleach on you. I mean, this is not the first bleach on your clothes for a long time. I mean, it's an almost standard retaliatory mood.
It's more than that, though. It's more of taking responsibility for your child that, you know, he doesn't come pick up. Fought so hard.
That has nothing to do with the snake, you fool.
Well, it does.
You're a fool. It has nothing to do with the snake. If you wanted him to act more responsibly with his child, you mean you think that you're going to teach him to act more responsibly with his child by poisoning a snake? You're some idiot.
All right.
Good. That's what you are. You're an idiot. And Mr. Reed, you want to be a responsible parent?
Yes, ma'am.
She acknowledges she tried to poison an animal to get even with you for sleeping with a girlfriend. I would question whether she has the ability to parent a child if she can do what she acknowledges that she did. Damaged clothes, harassment. You want to tell me about the harassment, Mr. Reed?
Well, there's been several occasions where Miss Fishback has harassed me. Actually, there was an altercation when she stole my credit card and made purchases on my credit card.
Where did she take your credit card from?
Out of my truck.
How many charges did she make on it?
She made phone calls to her mom and her aunt and to other people. The charges came up to like $100 and something.
Why'd you do that?
Because actually, I just had the phone, I had the credit card in my possession, but I just used it, and I paid his mother back for that, and I paid for that already.
When you say you had it in your possession, where did you get it from?
Out of his truck, like he said.
How often do you see your daughter?
She lives,
Look at me.
She lives right around the corner. I see her, if not every day, every other day.
Okay, so you see her pretty regularly.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do, Ms. Fishback?
Right now, I have a job at, I'm customer service representative, better yet. There we go.
What does that mean?
Meaning,
look at me.
Customer service. You
I don't know
do
what that
customer
means. Who do you
service
work for?
relation.
Give me the name of the company.
Macon County Greyhound Dog Track.
What does she do for a living?
Nothing.
That's what I do.
Actually, she just, you know, she's there bothering me. That's why we have all these problems.
You picked her.
You're right, I did.
You picked her.
But, Your Honor, she wasn't
Zip it
like...
up. Then you don't have a problem. You created a problem. Mr. Reed, you know, I have a certain amount of sympathy for you because I think she's nutty. I really think she's nutty. So I have a certain amount of sympathy for you. But, you know, until you're really sure that this is going to be an it, you just bought the whole farm for the next 18 years or so, and that farm isn't wrapped too tight. You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
She has serious personality disorders. So you better watch it very carefully. In any event, I'm giving you a judgment in the amount of $2,500 for your clothes, for the harassment. Madam, you better learn to... Look at this. There is some... Are you on medication?
No, I'm just sitting here listening to you. I'm waiting for you to tell me what I better learn.
You better learn to grow up. Okay. You made a child with somebody when you were not married, so you had no commitment. He wasn't going to be your knight in shining armor. That you can't seem to get through your head. Leave him alone. Try to be a good mother as long as you have custody of this child. That is your primary responsibility. And start to put a life together for yourself where you are engaged in some useful pursuit other than making trouble. Now do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
After all said and done, I knew I was wrong, but couldn't fix it.
Snakes can sense tainted food or water, and she didn't. Luckily, she didn't drink any.
He doesn't deserve anything. He shouldn't get it, but, you know, whatever.
I've had several charges brought up against her, and something always happens, and nothing's ever done, so I'm just ready to graduate and move on.
Broke heart, woman scorned, did damage. He'll get over it. Life will go on.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Woodside versus Thompson. Step forward, please.
20-year-old student Nathan Woodside is suing former bandmate, 20-year-old food deliverer Jaron Thompson for the return of his music equipment.
Mr. Woodside, you and the defendant were band members together. How many were in the band in total?
There's 4 in the band in total.
According to your complaint, you purchased some band equipment. When did you purchase the equipment?
Well, the bass that I'm suing for, I purchased last summer. I purchased it for myself. I'm also suing for 4 DJ speaker cabs that I bought on January 20th of this year. I'm also suing for a PV bass amp that I bought on February 2nd that I'm also suing for.
Of this year?
That's correct.
Okay. Can I see exactly what it is that you want back, sir? So you bought these items, the band used them. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you used them when you were with the band?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you left the band. When did you leave the band?
The first week of May, when I found out that the defendant was messing around with my girlfriend.
Is there any question, Mr. Thompson, that the plaintiff bought this equipment?
No.
Then why shouldn't he be able to take it when he left the band? Because you are keeping it from him.
Well, when he purchased it, it was for the band and intended for band use. And when he decided he wanted to leave the band, there's no reason that what was bought for the band should stay with the band.
Where is that written? In which testament? You're not his band anymore.
Well, he decided to leave on his own free will. No one told him he had to leave.
Of course. Just like he purchased this equipment.
For the band.
Of which he was a member.
Right.
He is no longer a member of the band.
Yeah, because he wanted to leave.
Right. Listen, slavery is gone a long time ago. Indentured servitude has gone a long time ago. He's unhappy with the band.
Well, that's
Do you
his own
understand?
problem.
Of course. You know what your problem
he
is?
purchased the equipment for the band for us to use.
Listen to me. You have to give him back his equipment.
Well, I don't think I should have to.
Just my own information, just so that I can amuse myself for a moment. What makes a band?
A group of people that want to make music
How
together.
large a group?
Well, in this case, it was...
No, not in this case. What number is it that makes a band?
Any number is possible.
Could
a band
you
could
have
be one person, a
Let me
band
ask
could
you,
be...
A band can be one person.
Right.
Well, that's an act. That's not a band. A band, I never heard of a one-person band. Give me an example, sir, of a one-person band. Somebody that Bird might know.
I hate it, but Dashboard Confessional. I don't know. They were a one-person act.
That's one-person act. I'm asking you to give Bird an example, because I'm an idiot when it comes to current musical groups. But Bird has teenage children. He might know the band that consists of one person. Give him a band that's 2 people.
Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt.
Right.
Have you heard of Lightning Bolt?
Never heard of him.
They're really good.
Steely Dan.
Steely Dan's also good.
Steely Dan. How many people in Steely Dan's band?
That I don't know.
Do you know?
2.
2?
2 regular.
No. 2 regular, but when he plays, is it just 2 people?
Well, he's got a lot of guest people.
The thing is, sir, let's say 3 people decide to leave the band, leaving just you.
Well, that's...
Shh. I'm smarter than you are.
Well, thanks.
I know that that's hard for you to believe, but I want you to trust me. I am smarter than you are.
Not saying anything.
Let's say the other 3 band members He decided to leave because he believed you were messing around with his girlfriend, so he was distressed. Somebody else gets an opportunity to go play with Steely Dan and says, I'm leaving Mr. Thompson because I'd rather go play with Steely Dan. And then the third one leaves to go play with John Ford Coley.
Him too.
Good? Him too?
Oh, yeah.
Did you think I knew that name?
I didn't think you knew.
I did. All right? Leaving only you left. And under your theory, because you can have a band that's made of one person, they should leave all the equipment that they bought with you.
No. That's
good. So then we are together.
It's a different case because since he's the only person leaving the band, the rest of us are still together. Now, if
No, listen to me, Mr. Thompson. You're not following my example, sir. The band was composed of 4 people. You may choose to keep the rest of the 3 of you in your new band that only is 3 people together. And if another person leaves, you may choose to stay together with your new 2-man band. But the band of which he was a part is no longer in existence. It's gone because he left. And he was a piece of that band, and he gets to take his equipment with him. So within 5 days of today's hearing, in the company of a police officer, if you need one, sir, I will prepare an order that you will retrieve your property. Do you understand?
I would like to know if it's still in original condition, because I know he's very rough on equipment.
Let me explain something to you, sir. He may be very rough on equipment, but you are getting your equipment back. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Perfect. 5 days from today, we will cut the order. Clear, sir?
Well,
is it clear?
There's a little bit of a problem.
There's no problem. Is what I just said to you in English clear, Mr. Thompson?
It is
clear, but his equipment back in 5 days. Get him out of here.
She ordered for me to give her his stuff back, but it's kind of broken right now, so he's the one that's getting screwed because he's getting broken equipment. But I don't care.
Well, not only did I lose my best friend, I lost my girlfriend, and you know, he just stolen everything from me. I have nothing left. The worst thing that ever happened to me was meeting this kid.
I think that he's just using this to try and get back at me and try and get back at Jaron. He can't accept that I'm happier with Jaron than I was with him.
A couple friends took pity on me and told me about it, and when I confronted them, they didn't deny it.
Hopefully we can rebuild, and like me and Tony and the other kid Austin can really like work on things. And
I wrote all the songs. How are you gonna do that?
Shut up.
A limo for hire.
The ladies' night out, is that right?
Right, that's correct.
But on this night, she was no lady.
All night she's making passes at me, grabbing my private parts.
Did she take this driver for a ride?
We had a couple of drinks, we went to her bedroom. Before things got intimate, I tried to take care of the bills.
Never combine business with pleasure.
Judge Judy.
You got your tip.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
It is your claim that the defendant had you falsely arrested for assault.
Yes, that's right, Your Honor.
And the defendant says that you did in fact hit him at a bar. He had every... He had every right to call and make a complaint, and that's your problem. So why don't you tell me how you know him and when this incident took place?
The incident took place in February of this year at a nightclub around the corner from my house. I did not know Mr. Borsity from Adam at the time. When he accosted me in this bar and was trying to convince me that I should leave with him and his friend to go somewhere, as he put it, a little more exciting. At that time, he started pushing me slightly, and we were by the revolving doors, and I was afraid he was going to try and push me out the doors of the restaurant.
How was he pushing you? Show me how he was pushing you.
With his hands around my waist, and I was facing him. It was very uncomfortable. I tried to turn. As I was wearing backless shoes, I tried to turn so that I could stop myself from being pushed. And it only lasted a couple of seconds before the manager at the time yelled over for him to cut it out and take a seat, which he did. However, at the very end of the evening, Mr. Borsity again came forward and, was basically asking me, don't you want to go somewhere else? Where are we going after this? That sort of thing. And I finally had lost my patience with him, and I believe what I said to him was, the closest you're going to get to leaving this bar with me is if I kick you in the butt on your way out the door.
Okay.
At which point, he grabbed me by the shoulders, and I broke his grip and slapped him. He had twice accosted me before I slapped him.
Just a second. So he grabbed you by the shoulders.
Yes.
And you pushed his arms away and slapped him. Okay. What happened next?
After that, he became really enraged and his arm went up, and I believe he was going to strike me, but at that time, about 3 or 4 other people stepped in and pulled him off. When they finally let go of him, the first thing he did apparently was to turn and push poor Vince into a bunch of chairs. My understanding is that he was injured. I was standing nowhere near anyone at the time. No one was restraining me, and it says in the warrant as well that...
Okay, so that's what happened. Now, you went home that night.
Yes.
Nothing else happened. There was no other contact between the two of you.
As I was leaving, a friend of mine had agreed to walk me out. Mr. Borsity and Mr. Duffy had circled back around in their truck and were waiting for me outside and approached me. Jason, who was escorting me out, said, you know, get back in the car. We don't want any trouble. You guys have, you know, you've caused enough trouble this evening. Don't talk to her, don't anything. And they kept walking. And that's when Vince said, my buddy just wanted to apologize. And Mr. Borsity didn't say anything even like that. But there was no altercation or anything outside. I was like, yeah, fine, whatever, it's done. Got in my car, and I went home that evening.
And the next thing that happened was?
The next thing that happened with him is that I'm basically getting out of my shower on a Saturday evening. There's a sheriff pounding on my front door. I've got a robe and a towel on my head, and I'm arrested for an assault that never happened.
What happened with that case?
Well, when we went to court, my attorney had hired a private investigator who had talked to everyone involved. But when we got to the court...
What happened to the case?
It got thrown out.
It was dismissed?
Yes, it was dismissed. They didn't even take it to trial. They said there wasn't enough evidence.
Okay. Now I'll hear you.
We were in the bar, we were drinking, we were doing karaoke. She was in the bar when we arrived. As the night went on, we were talking about several conversations. There was nobody else in the bar. There was only 5 people in the bar total. This, what she said, is a lot of fiction, a lot of fiction. We were talking about the martial arts and things like that, and she basically said, in an inebriated state, that she could probably take me in a conflict. Anyway, I went to the restroom, and I came back. Then she made another derogatory comment to me about my endowment. And I told her, I said...
What did she say to you?
Well, she was talking to the other bartender, and she's looking at me, and she said, I think he probably has a small, you know. That's what she said. And I said, were you talking to me? And she, with a smirk on her face, she said, oh, no, I was talking about somebody else. And I go, whatever. And I called her a... I walked away from her, right?
Why did you call her a name?
Because she was speaking to me. Because she was speaking. There was nobody else in the room, and she was smirking. And she had already, you know, said she thought she could take me in a fight, and she was acting, you know. And she'd been up. She's not a wallflower, Your Honor. She had been up doing karaoke. She had done 4 or 5 songs, you know, over the course of the evening. But anyway, make a long story short, she, as I was walking away, she said it again that, you know, I think she probably could take me in karate. And I said, well, I slapped down some money.
This was after you called her a name.
After I called her, yes. I did call her,
Mm-hmm.
and I slapped down some money on the table, and I said, "There's $5 here that says you can't, you know, that you couldn't take me."
So you challenged her to shh.
Well, no,
please. You challenged her.
Well, I just basically said yes, I did, I guess.
Okay.
And then Ron, the bartender here, he was bartending at the time, he witnessed it, and he said, "Take it outside if you're going to do anything." You know, I picked up my money and started walking away from her, and she came up behind me, tapped me on the shoulder, I turned around, she slapped me. And I looked at her and I said, what, are you crazy, right? She slapped me again. Then Vince jumped, he was on a stool, he came around, grabbed me and put my arms around me so it wouldn't go any further escalation, right? While my arms are being held like this, she punched me with a closed fist, okay? I broke free of him, that's how he got injured. When I threw him off me, he hit a table, he fell down, okay? Then she swung at me again, I grabbed her, and I put her down on the floor. And then the other bartender, her friend Jason, he came around from the back of the bar and held her while I left. And that's what happened.
This is the 4th version of this story
Just
that
a second.
he's told.
You testified, is that right?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Both of you were drunk. The only one that wasn't drunk was him.
That's not true, in fact.
Oh, yes, it is.
No.
Oh, yes, it is.
And later today,
He came into my home, took off his clothes, and went straight to the bar.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Susan Rathgaber says she was arrested when fellow bar patron Duff Borsity falsely accused her of assault. Duff says she slapped him twice and then punched him.
Now, you weren't injured.
Well, I was slapped. No, I wasn't, ma'am. I did get...
And so you went home.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
You did not call the police from the bar?
No, I did not.
Did you drive yourself home immediately?
Well, no, I waited for him to come out. My roommate, Vince.
How long did you wait outside for Vince?
Probably about 5-10 minutes.
Is there any reason why you didn't call the police from the bar where there were witnesses?
He asked me to leave, and I didn't want to cause a scene there.
Who asked you to leave?
The bartender, Ron Jolly.
Okay, now step up. You know the plaintiff.
Yes, ma'am.
Before that evening, had you ever met the defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you friendly with Mr. Borsky?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about the plaintiff?
She was a regular at the club probably about a year since I started working there.
Okay, did you ever have any words with her?
No, ma'am.
Have any problems with her?
No, ma'am.
She ever become drunk and sloppy?
Once or twice, maybe, yes.
She did?
Yes.
And do you remember how much each of these two people had to drink that night?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me.
Both of them were pretty well intoxicated, yes.
And when the defendant left, he said he went out and got in his pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
Who drove home?
That I don't know.
Who drove home?
I did, ma'am.
Drunk?
Yes, ma'am. She drove home drunk, too.
I'm going to get there. I thought you lived around the corner. Did you drive home?
Yes, ma'am, I did, but I had waited in the club for about 40 minutes by the time I left. And I waited in my car with Jason for about another 20 after that. And I actually had only had 3 beverages over a 4-hour period that
I don't think that's what he's saying. Is that right?
No, ma'am. I was serving shots to both parties all night.
And they were both pretty well drunk.
Correct. And this did happen around 1:30. And when I left the bar at 2 o'clock, there was nobody outside.
Now, you want to tell me what you observed that
Yes,
night?
ma'am. They were sitting on one side of the bar over here. She was on the other side of the bar. There was conversation back across the bar. The fact of the martial arts did come up. At that point, I did take keen to the conversation because when people are drinking in a bar, a conversation like that comes up, you need to keep an eye on them. Then I did see Mr. Borsky come around. She did actually challenge him a few times, and there was a bet made. He walked around, he put money on the bar, and at that point, I told both of them to go outside. At that time, he picked the money up from the bar, put it back in his pocket. She got up from her seat, tapped him on the shoulder. As soon as he turned around, she took her open fist and slapped him right in his face. His head actually turned completely to the side.
And then what did you see?
She stepped back in an aggressive stance. She was smiling, laughing. I asked her then to grab her things and leave. She took a few steps towards him again, slapped him the second time. That's when Vince came around. He tried to hold Duffy back, and then that's when she hit him again. He took Duffy, threw him off. He went over one table, landed at the base of another table. I was getting furious. I was like, you guys need to leave right now, because then that looks bad on me because I'm not controlling the situation.
I got you. Okay.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, that's just not the story that Mr. Borsky told the police, and it's not the story that was in his warrant that he swore out under oath.
Just a second. Let me tell you something. Both of you were drunk. The only one that wasn't drunk was him.
That's not true, in fact.
Oh, yes, it is.
No.
Oh, yes, it is. He wasn't drunk. The two of you were drunk. That's why I don't care what he swore to in the warrant. I don't care what you're telling me happened, because neither one of you have a clear picture of what happened. He has a very clear picture of what happened. Clear as a bell. I believe that you hit him.
In self-defense?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Nope. I don't. I don't believe it was in self-defense. I believe that you hit him. I don't believe that you injured him. He says you didn't injure him.
No, she didn't.
What? You still can't put your hands on somebody. You can't slap somebody twice. You can't, but just because you're a girl.
Well, it was perfectly acceptable for him to push me around in a bar.
Oh, he didn't push you around at all.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. You may not like what he said to you. You may not like that he was coming on to you. Let's leave or whatever. If you didn't like what he had to say to you and you thought he was drunk or you thought he wasn't being respectful, you could have gotten in your car and gone home. You chose to stay. You chose to stay until 1 o'clock in the morning. So nothing that he said to you was that offensive because the place wasn't hopping with a whole bunch of other people. I believe that you put your hands on him first. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. She made it out like she was a little wallflower. She's a rough chick.
His own 2 stories to the police and on his warrant didn't match what he just told the judge.
She's a liar, and she got just what she deserved, and I'm glad I won. Judge Judy was right on.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Niku versus Pugh. Step forward, please.
Limo driver Tony Niku is suing computer analyst Rhonda Pugh for the unpaid cost of a limo ride. Rhonda says the limo was a birthday gift.
Mr. Niku, you have a limousine business, is that
Yes,
correct, sir? And it is your claim that the defendant hired your limousine for the purposes of schlepping herself and several relatives of girlfriends around for her birthday, that she used your services and then stiffed you for the bill. You want your money, $665.
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Pugh says it was a birthday present, right?
Right.
Are you a friend of hers?
No, not necessarily.
What does that mean, not necessarily? I never heard an answer like that. Are you a friend of hers?
No.
Had you ever driven her before?
Yes, I have.
How many times?
One other occasion.
Did you charge her?
Yes, I did.
So tell me what happened on the 5th.
Well, on the 5th, I went and picked her up,
What time?
Paramount, at 9 o'clock, and drove them to
When you picked her
Redondo Beach.
up, was there anyone else at her house when you picked her up?
Oh, yeah. There was like at least 7 or 8 of them.
Men, women?
Ladies.
All ladies. So it was a
Yeah.
ladies' night out. Is that right, Miss Pugh?
Right, that's correct.
Okay, what birthday was it?
This year, 2003. What year was I born, or what are you asking?
What birthday were you celebrating?
Oh, my 18th?
More like 62.
32.
It's not so terrible. I would take that in a heartbeat. Okay, keep going.
I brought a bottle of champagne, which is, we charge. And she had...
Mr. Nuku, I have a question before
Sure.
you go on. Because you have a very calming voice,
Yes.
you know.
I'm a really calming
falling
guy.
Almost falling asleep. When was the first time you drove her?
Approximately...
Look at me.
A month and a half prior to that.
Mother's Day.
Okay. Between Mother's Day and July 5th, when you took her again, did you see Miss Pugh?
He took me again.
Shh. I'm not speaking to you.
Okay.
No,
From
ma'am.
Mother's Day to July 5th, you did not have any contact with her other than the phone call that she made for you to pick her up for her birthday.
Yes.
Is that correct, Miss Pugh?
No, ma'am, he's lying.
Sorry, so you saw him on Mother's Day.
Right.
And he drove you on Mother's Day.
Right.
And after that, when did you see him
Father's
again?
Day.
Father's Day. What happened on Father's Day?
I hired him again for Father's Day.
Oh, good. And you paid him?
Right.
Okay. When was the next time you saw him after Father's Day?
I think we were supposed to get together for drinks.
But you didn't?
Not sure.
Okay. Now, so you took him out for the
And
evening?
took him out to Redondo Beach, to this bar, and...
Could you pick up the pace a little bit, Mr. Nuku? I just, you know,
well,
I have
I'm
other
trying to
things
get
do
to the
today.
details exactly
I don't need
what
details.
happened.
Just
She
what time
has-
did you bring him home?
Like, by the time I got home, it was 3 in the morning.
And what did you do when you dropped them off?
All night, she's making passes at me, grabbing my private parts,
Please.
which I didn't appreciate in public. When we got there, she invited me into her house. We had a couple of drinks at that point.
Okay, just a minute. She invited you into the house and you went in and had a couple of drinks.
Yes.
So I imagine that you got over the fact that you were humiliated by her grabbing your private parts in public.
Well,
Just a
apparently
minute.
so.
I assume that
Apparently
you were getting...
so.
I assume, Mr. Nuku, that you had gotten over that humiliation. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Enough so that you went inside and had a couple of drinks. And what happened after you had a couple of drinks?
So we had a couple of drinks, we went to her bedroom. Before things got intimate, I tried to take care of the bill, try to take care of business first. So she gave me, I asked her repeatedly several times. She finally took out her credit card and gave me her credit card number for the payment. The clothes came off. A couple hours later, and it was time to go home because I could not find a credit card number anywhere.
Okay.
And then I asked her...
Just a second. I got the whole picture from your end. Okay. Picked you up at 9 o'clock, dropped you off at 3 o'clock.
9:45.
9:45. What was the arrangement as far as payment? How much an hour?
Like $50 is
$50
what I
an
had
hour.
normally paid in the past.
Okay. Did he come to your house?
Yes, he did.
Did he spend part of the night with you?
He came into my home, took off his clothes, and went straight to the bar.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, it was kind of uncomfortable.
Miss Pugh,
He
when
got
did
a
you-
little frisky, and I asked him to leave.
And did he leave?
Not right away. He was drunk. I paid him to leave. Well, I gave him my credit card information because I was ready for this to be over with. Now, originally when I talked to him and I asked him about...
So why do you say it was a birthday present? What makes you think it
Right,
was a
because
birthday
when I
present?
talked to him before, he told me not to worry about it. He said, it's your birthday. He comes to my house with champagne and with Iranian pastries and all this other good stuff. And, you know, so this is what he led me to believe, that it was a birthday gift.
You called him to set up 7-5. There was no birthday present.
No, I
You were
anticipated
retaining
on
him.
paying him
Right,
at that time.
Good. Okay, how much do you charge an hour?
$65 an hour, ma'am.
All right,
And
how
it
many
clearly says on my business card.
Let me say, for the purposes of this case, that it was $65 an hour. Then I will take your hours. You picked her up at 9. You dropped her off at 3. That's 6 hours. 6 times 65.
Yes. Comes up to $3.90 and $50 for the bottle of champagne.
Forget the bottle of champagne. Who ordered champagne?
She
Something
did. She
cheap
ordered
from
champagne.
the. Oh my God, that is so not true.
Just a second. I have $390. That's 6 times 65.
Okay, and they have a 20% gratuity for tips and beverages and gas and so on.
Is this your limousine?
Yes, it is.
Never combine business with pleasure, Mr. Naku.
I wasn't.
It's a
I was
very,
dead
listen
into
to
it.
me, it's a
Ma'am,
very...
this lady thinks...
Listen to me very carefully. $390 represents 6 times $65 an hour.
Right.
You got your tip. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $390. That's all.
Thank
Step
you,
out.
Your Honor. What about lost wages, ma'am?
Parties are excused. Step out.
This lady happens to think that she has big breasts and she's God's gift to Pepsi generation.
The little Oompa Loompa got exactly what he deserved.
She thinks everybody should just do everything for her for free.
I don't know which part of his rear end he pulled that story from.
I don't even bring champagne and flowers to my real girlfriends.
He's wanted me from day one. He wanted me on Mother's Day. He wanted me on Father's Day. He wanted me on my birthday, and he still wants me now. Ask him.
What did you do for your money? Don't speak to her.
Can Judge Judy make a lawyer squirm?
I'm asking you what you did for $800.
Well, Your Honor.
The answer is zippo, nothing, goose egg.
Judge Judy goes for the jugular.
You've got some chutzpah suing him for the balance of your fee when you've done nothing for this man.
Your Honor, we...
I'm surprised he hasn't reported you to the Bar Association, sir.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
There you go.
Judge Judy.
I wouldn't...
24-year-old paralegal, Rashida Gonzalez, is suing a former client from her firm, Union Field Rep Pablo Murillo, for assaulting her at her place of work. Pablo is countersuing for false accusations and defamation of character.
Yeah, this is case number 167 on the calendar in the matter of Gonzalez versus Murillo. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Ms. Gonzalez, you are employed as a paralegal for a law firm, and it is your claim that the defendant, who is a client of that firm, assaulted you. You want to be compensated. Mr. Murillo says that he did not assault you, that he was a client who was not only dissatisfied, but was really given short shrift by your firm. He's counterclaiming. Mr. Murillo, I'm going to start with you, sir. What kind of case did you have that brought you to the plaintiff's law firm?
On April 7, I hired the Office of Attorney Aragon to help me establish visitation rights to have my daughter in my life.
And how old is your daughter?
She's 7 years old.
Had you seen her regularly before that?
No, I tried for the first 4 years with her mother on my own. It just never went anywhere. I gave up, but I'm back again, and I want to establish
What do you
visitation
mean you're back
rights.
again? Where had you been, Mr. Murillo?
Well, I had just a son being born. Now he's a newborn. So I want my daughter to know her brother, and I want her to be in my life. So then I went to court. Now knowing that my ex-girlfriend will not listen to anything, I realized I have to take legal proceedings to establish visitation rights.
So
That's
you
how I
hadn't
went.
seen your daughter in 7 years?
No, I did see her for 4 or 5 years. The last 2 years, I just completely gave up because her mother won't let me see her.
She made it difficult.
Very difficult.
Okay. What was the name of the lawyer that you saw, sir?
Daniel Aragon.
Danielle.
Yes.
Is that person here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
The gentleman right there.
Daniel. Is that... Oh, Daniel. That's you. Step up, please. Pronounce your last name?
Aragon, Your Honor.
Okay. How much did you pay Mr. Aragon, Mr. Murillo?
I gave him $800 on April the 7th as an initial deposit, and I have a copy of that check here.
What did he do for you on April 7th? Did he start a proceeding for visitation?
After April 7th, I was supposed to make an appointment with them to give them documentation, tax returns for the last 2 years, check stubs, etc. I made an appointment with them for April the 9th. I met with Ms. Gonzalez here to give her all my documents, and on that day also, they asked me for a $25 filing fee. They said they needed. So I gave them that also, and I have a copy of that receipt also here.
Okay, so that was on the 9th. So the 9th you went in, and you just saw Miss Gonzalez and gave her all the paperwork that Mr. Aragon asked you for.
Correct.
Is that right? What was the next thing that happened?
2 days later, I received a letter by the district attorney saying that I needed to be in court on May the 5th. They said that I needed to come in to prove that I have insurance for my daughter, which I do, and to modify my order.
Your order of support.
Yes.
So they were bringing you to court.
The DA, by coincidence, they happened to send me a letter.
Okay. So on May 5th, you were supposed to go to court.
Correct.
So what did you do?
I proceeded right away to take the documentation to Mr. Aragon's office because since they're my attorneys, I figured they should help me.
Okay. So when did you go to the office? On what date?
I don't have the exact date, but I received the documents on the 10th. I would say sometime between the 10th and the 15th of April, I gave them the documents. I walked them in myself because I work across the street from where they are.
And who did you give them to?
To the clerk in the front office. They have a clerk in the front office. I said, these are my documents. I said, give them to my attorney. Make sure they call me. Let me know what it is that we're going to do.
And what was the next thing that happened, sir?
They never called me back. I kept calling them, kept calling them, kept calling them.
Who
Nobody
did you
called me
speak to?
back. I called the clerks in the front desk every time.
Why didn't you go over there?
Oh, I did go over there twice by myself. Personally, I went and I left messages with the at the front desk with the lady.
What was the date of the incident, Ms. Gonzalez, where you say that Mr. Murillo assaulted you?
It was on May 5th, Your Honor.
So on May 5th, somebody's supposed to be in court with him.
No, Your Honor, we were never contracted for that. We were contracted to do his custody case and a child support case, but it wasn't in our contract where we were going to represent him when the DA served him.
Which one of you geniuses told him that?
Well,
Which one of you geniuses told him that?
Well, it was never said.
Was not you, genius? Was it you, genius?
Your Honor, I mean, he just testified that he contracted with us to represent him on a custody matter. He was going on a child support case.
Listen to me. Didn't you understand what I said to you, Mr. Aragon?
Yes.
You have a layperson who has given you $800 so that as far as they're concerned, they believe that you are their attorney. He comes to your office on 2 separate occasions, at least. The first time he brings you documents, the documents that you say you needed. Then he comes back again because he has gotten this notification to appear in court on the 5th of May. He comes back and he calls your office because there's no question in my mind that he did that. Not a question that he did that. Your answer to me is, we were not contracted to deal with that case, so we never did anything with that case. And I say to you, which one of the geniuses in your office told him that his $800 didn't buy representation on May 5th?
Well, Your Honor...
The answer is, no genius from your office told him that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You've got some chutzpah suing him for the balance of your fee when you've done nothing for this man. I'm surprised he hasn't reported you to the Bar Association, sir.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Oh,
that's why we're
there
here.
you go. There you go. Sit down, sir.
And later today...
You reported front page of a newspaper that you observed the plaintiff using a controlled substance. He says it absolutely never happened.
Well, I stand by what I wrote.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paralegal Rashida Gonzalez claims former client Pablo Murillo assaulted her at her place of work. Pablo says he's being scammed.
What did you do for him for the $800, Mr. Aragon?
Your Honor, we had prepared a date for a custody case for Mr.
Show me.
Do you have it on you?
We don't have that with us.
We don't have that with us.
What do you mean you prepared a date? What does that mean, Mr. Aragon, that you prepared a date?
We filed an OSC on behalf of Mr. Murillo on his...
You filed an order to show cause?
Yes, on Hill
Who
Street.
signed the order to show cause, Mr. Aragon?
Did.
Who signed the order to show
Mr.
cause?
Murillo did, Your Honor.
He did?
Did he not?
Yes, he did, because that's
When did he sign? Just a second. When did he sign the order to show cause? You know, I know that he has to sign the order to show cause. What date?
It was on April 9th, the day he came in for his appointment to see me to prepare the paperwork for the order to show cause. That's when I prepared it, and I was asking him exactly what he wanted as far as custody.
Let me see it.
I don't have it with me.
You have it?
They didn't give it to me, no. They didn't. They kept everything.
What was the return date of the order to show cause?
We had submitted it to the court, but we hadn't picked it up yet.
Your Honor.
Just a second. What do you mean you submitted it to the court and you hadn't picked it up yet?
Yeah, it was sent to the court for filing.
Your Honor, I'd like to point out that there's another small claims case. It's a breach of contract case, and that's not before us right now. This is a battery case. It's a separate case against me and Mr. Murillo.
For what?
For breach of contract, and he filed a countersuit. That's not an issue
breach of contract
right now.
for what?
Because he still owes us money. He hasn't fulfilled the terms.
What
of the
did you
contract.
do for your money?
Well, we were going to prepare his OSC for visitation, for legal custody, for joint legal custody and joint physical custody.
I'm
for Mr.
asking you
Murillo.
what you did for $800.
We were in the process of preparing his case.
Well, I want to tell you something, sir. I wouldn't go to your law firm.
Okay.
I wouldn't go to your law firm. You have not been able to answer directly one question that I posed. I said, what did you do for your $800? You said to me, and English is your tool, sir. You said to me, we were in the process of preparing in order to show cause. Your paralegal says she prepared it and she submitted it to the court. Now, which one was it?
It was prepared, Your Honor. He
Well,
was there.
but your boss didn't know that. Your boss just said to me, we were in the process of preparing a case, and nobody bothered to pick it up.
But
We're
I'd like
now
to-
months later. So you did Zippo for $800. Nothing.
I'd like to tell Your Honor, this is a battery case. This has nothing to do with the
Let
contract.
me explain something to you, sir. This case involves his claim that he came to your office on May 5th after having dropped off files and a summons to appear in court on May 5th with your front office. Nobody called him. Nobody contacted him to say, I'm sorry, if you want us to represent you on this case, this is a different matter. Don't speak to her. We do not represent you on this case, sir. If you want us to represent you on this case, you have to come in. We have to take additional information, make an appointment. What you did was you ignored him. And on May 5th, he was supposed to go to court, and he didn't have a lawyer, despite the fact that he had plonked down $800 for you, who did so far nothing. Goose egg.
Okay, Your Honor, at any time, Mr. Murillo could have made an appointment to see any of the
Let me
attorneys.
explain something to you. He came in, Miss Gonzalez, and somebody in your front office said, we will give him the message. He gave him the papers. The fact that they couldn't find their way to this guy is a mystery to me. How many times did he come in?
The only time I had seen him come into the office was on May 5th.
He came in before May 5th. He is not a stupid man. If he got notification from the district attorney that he was due in court on May 5th, he came in before. He gave somebody the papers and he said, please have somebody call me, and nobody called him. He doesn't know whether he's afoot or horseback. I mean, you've got some chutzpah suing him for the balance of your fee when you've done nothing for this man. I'm surprised he hasn't reported you to the Bar Association, sir.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Oh,
That's why we're
there
here.
you go. There you go. Sit down, sir. Sit down, sir. Now, he came in on May 5th. Now you want to tell me what happened when he came in on May 5th? You told him he didn't have an appointment and he had to leave.
I told him he needed a scheduled appointment. I would have been more than willing to assist him and get an attorney in court with him. It wouldn't have been a problem, but he was very aggressive and he was speaking in a very bad way. I mean,
Madam,
don't
you understand?
I understand.
Don't you understand? He comes in the morning, he's due in court on May 5th. People in your office have been jerking him around now for 2.5 weeks. And you say, do you have an appointment? You don't have an appointment? You're going to need an appointment. Would that be frustrating to you?
Yes, I do understand. It would have been very
In just that tone of voice that you're talking to me. Very monotone. He is gone. He doesn't know where he is. You have done nothing from the 7th, when he gave you $800, to the 5th, as far as getting him a court date with regard to visitation, which you have not gotten. You have not gotten the papers back from the court. You don't have a copy of them here with you in court today. You didn't give him a copy of those papers that you allege that you had him sign without, I might add, showing them to a lawyer. Because according to you, he sat in your office on April 9th. You filled out the papers, a paralegal. You had him sign them without even showing them to a lawyer. I don't think you're allowed to do that, madam. Do you understand? Now, I would like you to tell me how he assaulted you, and let's be brief. First of all, before I go into how he assaulted you, were you hospitalized?
No.
When was the first time after the 5th of May that you saw a doctor as a result of the assault?
I didn't, Your Honor. It's the
Just a
point-
second. So you did not see a doctor, and you did not go to the hospital. Then you want to tell me how he injured you.
I was very offended by him putting his
I'm
hands
very
on me.
offended by your behavior.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paralegal Rashida Gonzalez claims former client Pablo Murillo assaulted her at her place of work. Pablo says he's being scammed.
Now, you were offended by his behavior because he pushed you.
Yes, and he had no
You
right
had,
to
you
put
had
his
no
hands-
right to push her. Please apologize.
I'm sorry, but I didn't.
That's good. He just apologized for pushing you. That's what you're entitled to. You're not entitled to a lawsuit. You're entitled to recognize that when people come to an office, especially an office that does domestic relations cases, they are in high emotional gear. And just because he doesn't know whether he's a foot or horseback, I have a feeling you have more of a brain than he does. You should understand that people who come to your office are really stressed. They're there because they want to see a child. The child is being taken away from them. It's an emergency. And you treat it as routine, and that is unconscionable. Unconscionable. So your lawsuit is dismissed. Now, as far as you're concerned, sir, did you get your $800 back?
I'm still fighting with them about that.
Well, unfortunately, you do not have a counterclaim for your money back. I would give it back to you if you had a counterclaim because they did nothing for you.
I did file a countersuit because he's filing a suit against me that I breached contract, so I filed a countersuit
Well,
regarding
I want to tell
that.
you something. You take a copy of this tape and you send it to the Bar Association.
Yes,
Do you understand?
Yes, yes, yes.
And
sir.
if I were him, I would be very swift to write out an office check for $800 and return his money. Unless, sir, you can't tell me, as you're standing here, that you have a court date for his visitation case. Do you?
Your Honor, he's
Do
getting
you?
nothing.
The answer is yes or no.
Nothing. He'll get nothing back.
The answer is you do not have a current court date for his visitation case because you did nothing.
Not true.
The case is dismissed. That's all.
He didn't have a right to put his hands on me.
I never have touched a woman in my life. Never would I ever do that.
He's a stereotypical absentee father. He hasn't seen his kids in 7 years.
Oh, that's just the lawyer speaking. He just wants to talk and talk and talk. You know, if I was that type of father, I wouldn't even be trying to do this.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Parsons versus Arthur. Step forward, please.
Musician Robert Parsons and reporter Andrew Arthur are in court for a second time. Robert says Andrew wrote an article claiming he is a marijuana user. The judge has ordered a drug test to settle the dispute once and for all.
Oh, it's nice to see you folks back. Let's see if my memory is correct. The last time you were here, this matter was adjourned for a drug test.
Yes.
It was adjourned for a hair follicle test. The issue was a relatively simple one. The defendant wrote an article in which he claimed that he observed you smoking marijuana. And you say that that is absolutely untrue because of a lot of things, including a family history of substance abuse. You never used drugs. You agreed to take a hair follicle test. Did you take the test, sir?
Yes.
How did they conduct the procedure? What happened? You went in and
They
you have to
saved
show
up.
them identification?
Yes.
What kind of identification did you show them?
My driver's license.
And they performed the test by cutting a piece of hair?
Actually, they shaved off my pubic hair.
So you were absolutely committed to the idea that you were not using marijuana. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Did we get the test results?
I think you have them.
Do you have them? Thanks, Bert. Before I look at these, I believe, Mr. Arthur, the last time we were here, it was agreed by all parties that if the test results, which I have not seen, were negative, then the plaintiff would be successful in this lawsuit. If the test results were positive, his lawsuit would be dismissed. I would like you to show the test results, please, to Mr. Arthur. Mr. Arthur, I want you to listen to me very carefully, sir. It's my job to determine the truth.
Okay.
And I have a difficult situation here. I have you who both verbally and in print in a newspaper, front page of a newspaper, reported that you observed with your own eyes the plaintiff using a controlled substance. That report in the newspaper could not be challenged by the plaintiff unless it was untrue. Because if it was untrue, then you've subjected him to a whole bunch of negatives, including the fact that he's engaged in a custody dispute now over a child, and the mother of that child is or was going to use this article as leverage. So you have to be very careful. Now, I have to make a decision as to which of you is telling the truth. You say you observed it, and he says it absolutely never happened. The test result is clear, Mr. Arthur. It says that there, and by the way, this test demonstrates the presence of a controlled substance over a long period of time. It's not like a urine test because drugs dissipate in the body very quickly, but drugs build up in hair follicles and in hair so that you can tell over a long period of time not only when the drug was used, but in what concentration. The test results are negative, Mr. Arthur. How do you explain that, sir?
I can't explain it. Well, I stand by what I wrote.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Arthur, science does not stand by what you wrote. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested, $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm very surprised, very surprised.
Well, it's caused me a lot of heartache with my children, not being able to see them.
He admitted that he bought dope sometimes with the money that he made on the street, so it didn't really surprise me when he did it.
I got the results now. There's nothing that can be held against me.
Before I knew it, two shepherds came running at him and just attacked him out of the blue.
Dogs gone wild.
I yelled at him to get his dogs off my dog, and he just turned around and walked away.
The dog was provoked.
How old are you?
18.
I don't want you to grow up to be an idiot. Do you understand?
And the worst defense ever.
To me, the rodent-like appearance of this dog set him off.
So it's the dachshund's fault that the dachshund looks like a weasel?
Yes.
No!
Judge Judy. Hygienist Elizabeth Kreutz is suing her ex-sister-in-law, business owner Fran Lewis Ebling, for bail. Elizabeth says Fran asked for it when her ex-husband was arrested for sinking a $1 million yacht for the insurance money.
Order. All rise. This is case number 209 on the calendar in the matter of Kreutz versus Ebling. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
All right, let me see if I understand the family relationships here. Ms. Kreutz, the defendant is your former sister-in-law.
That's correct.
She was at one time married to your brother.
That's correct.
Is the brother here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is he?
Sitting right there.
That's me.
Okay. According to your complaint, you received a telephone call from Miss Ebling asking if you could loan her $5,000 because your brother had gotten himself arrested.
Correct.
Something that had to do with what?
What a federal indictment.
All right, stand up. If you've been to court, then you know that you stand up when you come to court. Mr. Ebling, was the case ultimately in the federal court dismissed? Were you convicted? Did you?
I pled guilty and I served. I did everything that I was supposed to do.
You pled guilty and were you sentenced?
Yes, I was.
You have been sentenced. Were you
Yes.
sentenced to jail time?
I got 400 hours of community service and a $40,000 fine.
Okay. Now you may have a seat. She called you and said, could you lend me $5,000 because your brother's in jail. I have $5,000. That's the way it ultimately came out. I have $5,000. We need 10. Could you lend us 5? And you did. So far, that is correct. Is that right?
No, I didn't ask for a loan.
Wrong.
Shh. I don't want to hear you.
Sorry.
Do it again and you're gone.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, tell me what you said to her when you called.
Oh, we had been talking. This makes me very sad to be here today because
I don't care if you're sad or not. I'm sad to be here, too. Could you please just
Okay.
tell me what you said to her?
All right. Well, Betty and I had been talking since Paul's arrest, and his family would not come up with any money. They wanted me to put up, originally the bail was $50,000. I haven't been married to him since 1987, but we have a child together. I did not really feel it was my responsibility, but I wanted to do the right thing. Then his mother, unfortunately, became very ill.
Just a second.
She died.
I asked you a question.
Okay.
And I said you called the plaintiff about money.
I said the bail had been reduced to $10,000, and I didn't feel it was my responsibility to put up the entire money. And
Okay.
she said Paul's
Look at
mother
me.
had passed away. All right, Paul's mother had passed away. And she said, the money that's in the account, there was a money market account, is now theirs. It's his money. I will send you the check. Wrong. I did ask her when she sent the $5,000 if she wanted the money returned into the family account to put it in a cashier's check, and she did not. Wrong.
Just a minute. Don't. If his family chose not to be supportive of him,
right,
either they're evil people or they have good reason. I don't know which one it is, and quite frankly, I don't care.
Right.
Whatever he has done in the past to either his sister, his mother, his brother-in-law, anybody else so that they want nothing else to do with him,
Right.
that's between them and their brother. You, unfortunately, are stuck with him because you have a child together.
Right.
A child whom I assume he assists in supporting.
He assisted, yes.
So he paid child support?
No.
How did he assist?
He assisted, actually, my son lived with his father sometimes and sometimes with me, and we sort of shared the responsibilities.
Okay. So despite the fact that you were no longer husband and wife, you had an amicable enough arrangement between the two of you to share custody of a child.
That's right.
So that if you wanted to help him, that's
right.
What you did. They have no obligation to do that. Your answer says that despite the fact that she gave you $5,000, you said she gave you the $5,000 from their mother's money. She says that's not true. What she says is that when she called and said, can I have my money back because the bail was exonerated, you got back the $10,000,
yes.
Correct?
Yes, I did.
Right. And then you told her that your ex-husband had gifted it to you.
Right.
And said, you keep it.
Because it was his money. That's what he said.
That's what he did. You keep it because it's my money, and I'm telling you, you don't have to give it back to her.
Right, that's exactly.
Is that right?
Exactly.
Wrong. What was your ex-husband convicted of?
Insurance fraud.
What kind of insurance fraud? Tell me about the underlying facts of the case.
He had a lawyer friend of his who bought a yacht and who was a insurance lawyer. And he had $1.5 million yacht built. And he was supposed to pick it up in Italy. And anyway, he convinced my former husband to go to Europe with him and subsequently sink the boat and collect the insurance and get a bigger boat. Why he did that, I have no idea.
Is this the first time that your former husband has been arrested?
Yes.
What kind of work had he done prior to this?
He's been in the securities, advising businesses on writing business plans and things like that. And actually, when I met him, he was buying car collections for very wealthy clients in Beverly Hills and all over the world, actually.
I got it.
Okay.
So far, do I have it pretty much correct?
Pretty much.
You took out the money. You said, I'll lend you the $5,000. Once they got the money back, your brother said, don't return it to her.
Correct.
Because my mother died and there was money.
Correct.
When did your mother pass away?
September 2nd, 2000.
And when did you give the defendant the money?
September 16th, 2000.
And how much money did your mother have?
At the time of her death, there was $23,000 in the account.
Now, in whose name was this account?
My mother and myself.
Paperwork.
Now you're out. Out! That way.
Paperwork.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Maybe she didn't like your father. Maybe she knew.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Anybody who goes to Europe to sink $1.5 million boat in order to collect insurance proceeds is somebody that maybe your mother wouldn't be proud of. Is that a possibility?
And later today,
I don't want you to grow up to be an idiot. I want you to try to grow up to be a smart young man, because I don't want your father to think that he's wasted all of the time and energy in raising a moron.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elizabeth Kreutz says her ex-sister-in-law, Fran Lewis Ebling, owes for bail on behalf of her ex-husband. Elizabeth says he was arrested for purposely sinking a yacht.
Well, there is one account, and that account is in the name of Emma and Elizabeth. Your former husband's name isn't on this account. Is this the money you're talking about?
Yes, that's the money that he said is jointly theirs.
But it isn't. The mere fact that he is a sibling does not indicate that he is entitled to half of the money in this account, and he knew that.
I understand what you're saying, Your Honor, and I have been put in the middle of this situation.
I understand that you've been put in the middle of the situation, but you had no right not to return the money to her. What?
I disagree with you.
I don't give a rat's what you disagree with, sir. This is an account. The account is not in your name. When someone dies and there is a joint bank account with rights of survivorship, it goes to the person who survives. If your mother had wanted your name on this account, she would have put your name on this account. Are you telling me that your sister fraudulently took your name off the account?
No, but I set the account up. I know how it was set up, and I know what the intention of the parties were.
Well, let me
And I
explain
know,
something to you,
Judge-
sir. That is what they call hearsay. You cannot suggest that your mother really wanted you to have this money, or a piece of it, put your hand down, but decided just to have it in two names. So, you tried to accomplish indirectly what you couldn't accomplish directly, and you put your former wife in the middle. She appears to be a very nice lady. I assume, what do you want?
Well, I went to St. Louis right before my grandmother died in August of 2000.
Let's go up there and stand up, please.
Yes.
And I talked to my aunt about the situation that was going on. And my aunt said to me that they could front the money for the bail because that was going to be out of his inheritance anyway. That's what they said
inheritance?
to me.
But I want to know, what inheritance? If this is the inheritance, sir, listen to me carefully.
I'm listening.
This isn't inheritance.
Okay.
This is a joint bank account that your grandmother had with one of her children.
I'm not disputing.
One child, not two, just one. Maybe she didn't like your father. Maybe she knew.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Anybody who goes to Europe to sink $1.5 million boat in order to collect insurance proceeds is somebody that maybe your mother wouldn't be proud of. Is that a possibility?
Could be.
Is that a possibility? Could be.
But she
you owe her
loved
the
him.
$5,000. Pay it. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He duped me, and he's done other things to me.
I know what the intentions of the party were firsthand because I set it up.
I'm sorry that I made that very intelligent judge unhappy with me.
I guess the judge was right.
Follow your mother's advice, because she usually knows best.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bonfiglio versus Mills. Step forward, please.
Waitress Luis Bonfiglio is suing 18-year-old student Adam Mills for vet bills. Luis says Adam's bull mastiff and German shepherd attacked her dachshund.
Mr. Mills, what kind of dogs do you have?
A yellow lab mixed with mastiff and a German shepherd.
How much does the yellow lab weigh?
160 to 170 pounds.
And the other dog?
The other dog, probably around 90 pounds.
Where do you live?
Aptos. It's near Santa Cruz.
You live near the beach?
Yes.
And you were walking your dogs on the beach. Is that right?
Yes. That's
Without
correct.
a leash?
At first, they had a leash, and then...
Without a leash?
Correct.
And they somehow came in contact with the plaintiff's dog, this dog,
Yes.
and injured this dog.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes, correct. Very badly.
And you were visiting that beach?
Yes, it was Dudley's first day to the beach.
Do you live in that area?
I live in San Jose.
Geography
It's about
isn't my
30
thing.
miles from Aptos. So I took my dog to the beach for a picnic, and he was on a lead, and before I knew it, two shepherds, or shepherd-looking mixes, came running at him and just attacked him out of the blue.
Okay. Did you see Mr. Mills at all?
Yes, I yelled at him to come and get his dogs off my dog, and he just turned around and walked away. So people, bystanders, building sandcastles, took his dogs off mine, and I dropped my camera in the sand and broke it, as you can see here.
Who are you, sir?
I'm Adam's father and
You know anything about these dogs?
Yes, I raised the dog with Adam.
Do you know anything about the day of this incident?
Oh, I was not there. I've been told.
Were you present?
No.
You're just here for moral support?
Yes.
Character witness for the dog.
I'm not interested in your opinion of the dog's character. The dog injured her dog. Now I'll hear you.
Yeah, that's a lie. Actually, when she called me after the dog started attacking, I immediately came running to the scene.
You did
Okay,
and did
shh, don't interrupt him, because he just, in his own zeal, said something that is really dispositive of this case. What he said was, when the dog started attacking, I came right over.
But the dog was provoked.
They, take your hands out of your pocket.
They're not in my pockets.
They can't be provoked, sir. I guarantee you that this lady did not take a stick and provoke your dog.
The dog provoked my dogs. From the beach where I was, I saw her dog jump out at my dog.
And just a second. How old are you?
18.
Okay. So I don't want you to grow up to be an idiot. I want you to try to grow up to be a smart young man, because I don't want your father to think that he's wasted all of the time and energy in raising a moron. Do you understand? When you walk two large dogs that cumulatively weigh 250 pounds, take your hands out of your pockets, 250 pounds on the beach, and you choose to walk them without a leash, whatever damage they cause, you're responsible for. Do you understand? If instead of a dachshund, she had been walking with a 2-year-old child, and your dogs ran up to the child, and the child poked the dog in the face, and your dogs mauled the child, would you stand there like an idiot and tell me that the child provoked your dogs?
Yeah.
Of course not.
Child is a different matter.
No! When you have the, put your hand down. When you have the responsibility of 250 pounds worth of animal that is capable of causing injury, and you choose to walk those dogs unleashed so that you do not have control over them, you are responsible for any damage that they do. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, but...
Period.
Could I say something in the dog's defense? So.
Oh, I'm dying to hear. Listen, I thought I just had an 18-year-old idiot. Perhaps I'm wrong. Stand up.
Well, I agree with what you've said so far, but the dog has been raised around children and around people. It would not attack children. And
let me explain something to you, sir. Do you ever read the newspaper?
Yes.
Do you ever hear about people who have little children that they love?
Yes.
That are eaten by, let's say, a large mastiff or a Rottweiler or a pit bull that never hurt any child before? You read about those tragedies?
Yes.
Animals are different from people.
Right.
Sometimes something spooks them.
Okay, this dog lives in the country. It chases gophers and mice, and to me, the rodent-like appearance of this dog is just, when it leaped at him, it set him off.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so it's the dachshund's fault that the dachshund looks like a weasel. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? Listen, Miss Bonfiglio, I looked at your complaint. You asked for a lot, because not only do you want the vet bills paid, and the dog was seriously injured.
Mm-hmm.
I read that, and I understand that.
I have pictures of the surgery.
I'd like to see pictures of the surgery just so I can complete my file. You indicate that because of what happened to the dog, A, your camera was destroyed because the camera went flying. B, you had non-refundable tickets to attend a wedding, but the dog had surgery, so you canceled those tickets. And for this incident...
The day of surgery.
Shh, and for this incident, you're demanding $2,000. Well, there is currently legislation pending in a lot of jurisdictions, and some of the legislation has to do with the value of pets. And a pet owner can sue, just like you could sue on behalf of a child, for pain and suffering and wrongful death, not just the value of the pet.
But my vacation was ruined.
Shh, why don't you listen to me?
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I believe that if people act irresponsibly, like these two people, and allow 250 pounds of muscle to walk unattended on the beach, that they are responsible for any consequence that occurs as a result of their irresponsibility. I also believe that the dog went through some very serious pain as a result of the attack by these two dogs. I see the scars. Maybe they haven't, but I see the scars that were caused by your... Shh! Do you look like you're losing? Does it sound to you as if you're losing?
I don't know what he's got up his sleeve.
I don't care what he has up his sleeve. All I'm doing is telling you that you're a winner, and you keep interrupting me.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
If I could speak.
I'm listening.
I don't see the connection between the dog attack and them missing a Moody Blues concert.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't either.
This is my
baby. I do believe that being attacked and causing this kind of injury and this kind of surgery was painful for this animal. Don't you think that that's true?
Yes, I do think that's true, and I feel sorry for the animal.
You don't feel sorry enough, because I'm going to read you your answer that your father probably helped you write.
No,
As far as I'm concerned, Mrs. Bonfiglio's dog was a visitor on my dog's beach and provoked the whole situation. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, it was my dog's first day at the beach, and it was totally ruined, and he's lost his confidence now.
My dogs have never been aggressive in the past.
I was petrified. This is my baby.
I don't really think size matters.
It looked like he was being killed by these two dogs. I was petrified.
I think that Mrs. Bonfiglio should invest in a real dog with some substance.
He's recovered. He's very brave.
I think the dog is an aggressive little dog, one of those types that, you know, yap, yap, yap.
We shall go back, and hopefully this man's dogs will not be on the beach.
What do you want from this man?
I want a refund of my money.
He sold them a trip to paradise.
Spring semester in Costa Rica.
But all they found was danger.
3 men approached us, pulled out a pistol. They grabbed Kristen, put a screwdriver against her back. She didn't really understand what he was saying.
He understands gun.
Judge Judy.
How could he have prevented that?
By warning us.
You mean somebody has to tell you that if you're out at night, somebody come up and rob you?
21-year-old student Ashley Potter is suing business owner Marina Proti for a refund of money paid for a Costa Rican study program. Ashley says she left when she was robbed at gunpoint.
Yeah, this is case number 201 on the calendar in the matter of Potter versus Proti. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Proti, how long have you been running this study abroad
Around
program?
6 years. 6 years.
And approximately how many students have you shepherded through your program in those 6 years?
Around 400.
How long is the study abroad program?
30 days or 90 days.
Ms. Potter, you signed up with Mr. Proti for his study abroad program for how many days, 30 or 90?
90 days.
When? When were you supposed to study abroad and where?
The program lasted from February 6th, and it was supposed to go until May 8th.
And what was Mr. Proti supposed to do pursuant to the contract you had with him with regard to the study abroad program?
He was supposed to provide housing, schooling, and weekend excursions, as well as several half-day excursions.
Can I see the contract?
What we have is the brochure that is stated
Fine.
everything.
Can I see it? Spring semester in Costa Rica. Well, let me tell you what it says. It says each student will have a private room with a pre-selected Costa Rican family and share bath facilities. Breakfast, dinner, and laundry services are included. This is an opportunity to learn Costa Rican customs with a native family while practicing the Spanish language. That's all it says about housing, correct? Okay. Were you placed with a family?
Yes, I was placed with the family.
And did you have a roommate?
Not at the beginning. My witness today, Kristen Tribby, moved into my house about a week into the program.
So then you did have a roommate?
Yeah, but not at the beginning.
And then, according to your complaint, you had a very unpleasant experience at some point. You'll tell me when that was, when you were robbed.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line is you want your money back because you left. You decided to leave. You didn't feel safe anymore. You decided to leave. Mr. Proti said that there is no refund policy with regard to this trip. You came, he provided you with your airfare, he provided you with lodging, and if you chose to leave, you chose to leave. Now, tell me first the day that you were robbed. What day was that?
That was on February 25th.
And what time of the day were you robbed?
It was actually in the evening.
Oh, at night? You were out at night?
Yes.
What time were you out?
We left our house at approximately 8 o'clock.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. And the robbery occurred at about 8:15.
And where were you going?
We were going to the bus stop.
Had you been to that bus stop before?
Yes, every day. We took the bus every day. And any night that we went out, we also took the bus.
And so for at least 20 days, you had used that same bus stop without incident?
Yes.
And then on the 25th of February, tell me about the robbery.
Okay. Well, Kristen and I were waiting at the bus stop. And we had been there for about 10 minutes. The bus was apparently running late. And as we were standing there, 3 men approached us, and they came up to the bus stop, and they were standing at the bus stop like they were also waiting for the bus stop. And then they surrounded us, the 3 of them. Kristen and I were standing with our backs against, there was a school right behind us, and the wall and the gate to the school is right there, and we were standing there, and the 3 men encircled us. The one standing directly in front of us pulled out a pistol, a .22 caliber, and demanded that we give him our bags. Well, at this point, Kristen didn't really understand what he was saying because her Spanish is not as good. And
she understands gun.
She understands gun. She didn't see it at first. She didn't see it at first. It was very, very dark at our bus stop. Very dark at our bus stop. And so she was like, what's going on? And I said, Kristen, run. And I was just freaked out, and I started running. And when that happened, they grabbed Kristen, put a screwdriver against her back, and then she just threw her purse at them. At that point, when I took off running, I started screaming to try to get people's attention. 2 cars stopped, and a family on the corner across the street from the bus stop came out of their house.
So and they helped you?
Yes, they did.
So they were nice people?
They were nice people. And after I ran and a car stopped, he came out. The guy came out of his car and he was like, oh, did they rob you? And I was like, yes.
All right, so you got robbed. You got robbed.
But I also got shot at, which is what I was trying to get to.
Okay. Get there.
Okay.
You weren't hit.
So, no, he did not.
Okay.
I
So
ducked
that was
on the
enough-
other side of a car.
All right. That
It was
was enough.
dramatic.
You had enough of Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Get it?
No, you know what? That's not the reason why we went home. I was
So
going
then
to
tell
stay.
me.
That's not
So
why.
then tell me. I mean, that's what you told me about in your complaint. Then tell me why you went home.
Okay. We called the police after this robbery took place. The police came to the house. They took a report. They ended up catching these individuals. In addition to the 3, there was a getaway driver. So there was 4 men total. 2 of them were adults. 2 of them were juveniles. So after they caught these guys, they came back to our house where they had dropped us off and said, will you come and be witnesses? And we said, yes, of course. You know, of course, we want our stuff back. We want these guys to be punished. Well, when we got to the police station, all 4 of those men were standing in the room with us. No handcuffs on. And we were like, you know, why are these guys here? This isn't...
Yeah, this doesn't look like Law and Order.
Yeah, this, exactly.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I was also advised by Mr. Prati that it was not safe for me to stay in the country.
Is that right, Mr. Prati?
Well, I make the comment if she was my daughter, I wouldn't have her down there.
Okay.
And later today,
Had you ever dated him?
He was my boyfriend.
It's your boyfriend. Excuse me. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. The only one who laughs around here is Bird, when I make him laugh.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ashley Potter says, while on an overseas study program in Costa Rica, she was robbed at gunpoint. She is suing business owner Marina Proti for the school trip.
What do you want from this man?
I want a refund of my money.
For what?
Well, I don't think that he gave us proper safety guidelines.
What?
He did not
Where does
provide
it?
us
Just
with...
a second. Just a second. What do you mean proper safety guidelines that could have prevented 4 people who were hell-bent on committing an armed robbery, who drive into a neighborhood, who see 2 young women standing at a bus stop with pocketbooks and say, here we have 2 young girls. These look like 2 marks. I'm going to pull up the car. You get out, do your business, you pop back in the car, and then we're going to go to whatever neighborhood we live in. How could he have prevented that?
By warning us about not taking the bus at night.
How many times had you taken the bus at night before?
A dozen times.
And nothing happened, is that right?
Mm-hmm. But had I been warned that something could have happened, I never would have taken the bus at
How
night.
old
I
are
would
you?
have taught.
How old are you?
I'm 21. I was 20 at the time this
Miss
happened.
Potter, you mean somebody has to tell you that if you're out at night or if you're out during the day that somebody come up and rob you?
Oh, I'm
you
sure
do
it
watch
does.
the news.
Oh, I'm
you
sure
do
it
know
does.
that if you're standing at a bus or walking in the street and it's dark outside, you can get robbed. That's a possibility. I'm asking you, how do you equate that with it being his fault? If you're looking for someone to blame, blame the police in Costa Rica, because what you say is you weren't concerned. It was a bad enough tragedy that you were robbed, but you say that's not why you decided to leave. You decided to leave because of what happened in the police station. That's what you just told me.
I didn't decide to leave because of exactly what happened in the police station. I wanted to stay. I called the U.S. consulate in Costa Rica. They advised me to leave. I was also advised by Mr. Prati that it was not safe for me to stay in the country.
Is that right, Mr. Prati?
Well, she asked me what was my opinion after all what had happened to her, being exposed 3 times in front of the witness by police mistakes. I make the comment, if she was my daughter, I wouldn't have her down there. And
Good.
I was honest on that.
Okay.
She exposed
Got it.
herself.
He was giving you honest advice. That doesn't mean that he gives you your money back.
He offered us a refund.
So?
And he said from the first instance that it was his idea to give us a refund.
So?
He believed that we deserved a refund. He told me in his own words.
Just a second. So if he said he was going to give you a refund, why are you here in court?
Because I wasn't satisfied with the refund.
Oh, well, how much of a refund was he prepared to offer you?
He sent me a check for $842 out of the $4,595 that I spent to go there. I was there for 20 out of the 90 days that I was supposed to be there.
So the idea is he said to you, despite the fact that he's not required to give you a refund of any sort, he said, I'll give you something, even though it's not my fault. What happened to you?
Yes, we had a meeting with him.
Just a second. I'm just recapping. What do you want to say?
I'd like to say that he never previewed the house also. When we were coming back from the court, he said that he's never seen this house. It was a bad...
Listen to me. Yeah. How old are you?
25.
25. 25 years old as a grown-up. Is that right?
Yes, I am.
You moved in with her a week afterwards. Is that right?
Yes.
So you lived there for 15 days. And I assume that at least during part of that time you went out with her in the evening.
Yes, I did.
So in the 2 weeks that you were there, you got to know the neighborhood a little bit?
Somewhat.
Don't give me baloney. You got to know the neighborhood a little bit?
Yes.
If I was 25 years old and I thought something was not safe, I wouldn't live there. I would go someplace else.
I did move.
That's why she moved out of her first house.
Because it wasn't safe for us not to be walking together. He said, it's fine if you walk. At nighttime, just be together.
I'm not suggesting to you that anything that happened on that day, on the 25th of February, was your responsibility. You're entitled to travel freely. You should be entitled to walk the streets, either here or in Costa Rica, wherever else you please, free from being accosted or robbed. I believe that that's your right. That doesn't mean that he's responsible. What you're looking to try to do is make him responsible. He is not responsible.
Have you seen a copy of the safety guidelines that he provided us with?
Hey, Miss Potter, you're going to have a long and happy life. Accept responsibilities for your own errors in judgment. If you felt that this neighborhood was not safe and it was not safe after dark, then what you do, you stay home and play gin rummy. You don't go to a bus stop in the dark at 8 o'clock. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. I didn't go to travel to Costa Rica to be on my own and do my own thing and travel. I paid a certain amount of money because I expected safety.
By the time they arrived to a program this big with 9 different classes, professors, universities involved, etc., a lot of money had been spent already months before.
We had to walk by a crack house, boarded up to get to our house, as well as burnt out cars on the middle of the street.
I hope we'll get lessons, and I think blaming each other won't solve anything. Basic, learn the lesson that be cautious, be careful, and be fair.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Sharp versus Urban. Step forward, please.
Warehouse worker Keith Sharp is suing his ex-girlfriend, caregiver Jeannie Urban, for having him falsely arrested for stealing her license plates.
Mr. Sharp, it is your claim that the defendant, who is a former friend of yours, had you arrested for stealing her license plates.
Correct.
And you really didn't steal her license plates, you just forgot to return them.
I called and had a junkie.
You just...
Okay, we'll go with that.
So let me explain this to you, Bird. You ready?
I'm ready.
He was having some trouble with registering his car. Maybe he couldn't get it smogged. I guess that's what they call it here. He couldn't get it road ready. But he didn't want to get into any trouble.
Right.
Had you ever dated him?
He was my boyfriend.
It's your boyfriend.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh. The only one who laughs around here is Bird. When I make him laugh. Miss Urban over here, she had a car that she was getting rid of for some reason. So he said to her, listen, I can't use my plates on my car because I don't have current plates because I can't get the car registered.
Right.
So as long as you're getting rid of your car, could I borrow your plates? She says, okay, but you have to give them back to me tomorrow, next week. You have a week, a time frame, a narrow time frame. He takes her plates and puts them on his car.
That ain't right.
It isn't right either. And now, Mr. Sharp, you're going to tell me what happened. Tell me first, because Bird wants to know, when you gave her back the plates.
I never did, ma'am.
And ergo lies the problem.
Correct.
So tell me what happened to the plates.
They were on a car. I could never get the car road ready. So I called a couple of junkyards till I finally found one that would agree to come pick it up.
So at the time you called the junkyard, where were you?
I think I was at my mom's. I don't remember. Exactly.
Okay,
I
so
could have been at my grandma's, or I could have been at my mom's, ma'am.
And how far does your mother live from your grandmother?
About 2 miles walking distance.
So you called the junkyard and you told them to come pick up the car?
Correct.
And they said they would?
Yes.
And this car had her plates on it?
Correct.
So let's keep going. I'm getting into this story.
Okay. Well, so anyway, it's like I've had cars picked up from junkyards.
I'm not interested in your editorializing, sir.
Okay.
I have another life other than this
Okay.
job.
Okay.
I want you to understand that. Just tell me the story. You called the junkyard. You were at either your mother's house or your grandmother's house. They live 2 miles apart, and you told them to come and pick up the car, and they agreed to come and pick up the car.
Correct. Well, I was going to give them some time before I took the plates off.
Why were you going to give them some time, sir?
To keep the car from getting any extra tickets while it sat there.
Yes.
Well, I mean, just
a minute.
Okay.
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I'm just looking at you. So you were going to give them some time.
Mm-hmm.
And?
Well, they came and got the car before I got around to taking the plates off.
And when did you find that out?
That I really can't tell you because...
Well, let's see. You were either at your mother's house or at your grandmother's house. They
All right,
live
like I
2
said-
miles apart. The car was at your mother's house. Your mother must have said to you, if you were at your grandmother's house, gee, they came and took your car.
No.
They're pretty stupid.
No, I mean, they knew it was going to be picked up, so they didn't think nothing about it when it was picked
Well,
up.
either they're stupid or you're stupid.
Well,
Which one is stupid, you or your mother?
neither one of us.
Yeah, one of them's stupid. Because the license plates are still on the car, right?
Correct.
Now, when she called you and told you that she wanted her plates back, did you tell her what had happened?
Like I say, at part of the time I was still driving.
Did you tell her
Yes.
what had happened?
She knew the car was going to a junkyard, yes.
Did you tell her that you had let the car go to the junkyard with her plates on it?
Yes.
Did he?
No, he did not.
No. Of course he didn't. He kept jerking you around. So you called the police and you said he stole my plates.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
That's what you're complaining about, that she had you arrested. And you were arrested and taken to jail?
Correct.
Did somebody explain to you what theft is, what larceny is?
Not what larceny is, but I do know what theft is.
Well, they're sort of synonymous. There's petty larceny, which is a little theft. There's grand larceny, which is a big theft. Then it escalates into robbery, which is a forcible. Larceny is a robbery. Okay. Larceny is when you either take or retain property without the owner's permission. Now, you took this property with the owner's permission.
Correct.
You retained it without her permission. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah.
Uncross your arms. Okay. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just kept out calling him and asking him for the plates back, and he kept ignoring my phone calls and acting, like he didn't care about the plates.
She could have very easily called the license bureau, said I no longer have the plates, had her name removed from them, then if anything would have happened, she would have been completely non-liable for it.
Well, I just hope that he learned his lesson and do what he said he's going to do and return the plates.
Life ain't always fair.
Meet the parents. Father, mother, boyfriend.
And the children understand this whole relationship. Their daddy lives home but doesn't stay in the same room as their mommy. Their mommy stays in a room with Richard. Right.
But when she caught her lover with another...
She went through the passenger window, grabbed my hair. I was stunned, I was shocked, I was scared. It didn't happen.
You lost your temper.
Judge Judy.
Shh. It's a different world we live in.
Administrative assistant Jill Anderson is suing her ex-boyfriend's girlfriend, homemaker Bobby Joe Morris, for damage to her car and an assault. Bobby Joe is countersuing for harassment.
Now, this is case number 245 on the calendar in the matter of Anderson versus Morris. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
This is your current boyfriend?
No.
Who is this?
Ex-husband.
Ex-husband? Where's the boyfriend?
He's not here.
Why not?
He couldn't make it.
Any particular reason?
No.
Was he a witness to this event?
To the event, no.
Okay. Ms. Anderson, from what I read in your complaint, the only thing that you and Miss Morris have in common, the exception of mutual dislike for each other, is a boyfriend. Used to be yours, then it was hers, but you continue to see him. I'm going to figure this out as we go along. In any event, your claim is that you were sitting with this boyfriend, or semi-boyfriend of yours, and the defendant came up in her car or truck or whatever kind of vehicle she was driving and proceeded to not only assault the vehicle that you were in, but you. Is that right?
Yes.
And Miss Morris says that is absolutely not true. Never did it. When did this alleged assault take place?
On June 5th.
Of this year?
2003, yes. About 10:30 at night.
Where were you?
I was at my friend's house in the car in his driveway.
Which friend?
The
boy?
Yes.
Does the boy have a first name?
Yes, Richard.
Had you dated Richard?
Yes.
For how long?
8, 9 years. Sorry.
But even though you had dated him 8 or 9 years, Richard was not monogamous.
Right.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Because he also had Miss Morris. Was he living with you at any point in the last 2 years, Miss Morris?
In the last 2 years, no. In 2000, he lived with me.
And did you continue to see him through 2003?
Yes, until June 5th.
In a boyfriend-girlfriend
Absolutely.
relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And your ex-husband was your ex-husband as of when?
As of 1997, I believe.
He doesn't live with you?
Yes, he does live with me. He lived with Richard and I together in the same household, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Tim and I share 2 children, and even though we can't fix our differences, he has an obligation to my children as well as I do, and we share that obligation.
So he lives with you since 1997, and you were living with Richard in 2000.
Richard lived with me, yes.
And your children. And the children understand this whole relationship. How old are your children?
Currently, they are 13 and 11.
And they understand that their daddy lives home but doesn't stay in the same room as their mommy. Their mommy stays in a room with Richard.
Right.
Shh. It's a different world we live in. It's not Ozzie and Harriet. You know who Ozzie and Harriet are?
Of course I know who Ozzie and Harriet.
Thank you. Okay. So you were in the car on the 5th of June, 2003, 10:30 at night, talking to your friend Richard.
Yes.
Who you knew, according to your complaint, was still involved with Miss Morris.
Yes.
But he was still a friend of yours.
Yes.
Now, when you say friend, did you have an intimate relationship with him, or was it just a friendly relationship?
Intimate relationship.
So it didn't bother you that he still had a relationship with Miss Morris?
No.
I would like to see this, Richard.
That would probably be why he's not before you today.
Right. I mean, I'd just like to get a look at him.
I have pictures of him if you'd like.
Oh, I'd love to see a picture.
Actually,
do you have one with you?
Actually, they're outside. They're outside the courtroom. I don't have
You'll
them.
get it to Bird later.
Most
so
certainly.
just so that I could take a look at it so I can see it. I'm dying to take a look at it.
Sure.
Okay. Now, I want you to tell me what happened when you were sitting and talking to Richard on the 5th of June at 10:30 at night.
Okay. First of all, Bobby Joe's been very jealous of me all along.
That's Bobby Joe?
Yes.
Okay. She's been jealous of you. Listen, I don't want to get into
anyway,
that.
I was in my vehicle. We had just pulled into the driveway, so I was
Who
still...
was driving?
Me.
And you were pulling into whose driveway?
Richard's.
Okay.
Had you gone out for the evening?
Yes, we had just gotten back, and I was dropping
From where?
them off. From Jackson Indio Casino.
Okay.
Okay. Can I? Okay. All right.
You'll have to turn.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we were up there. We came home. I dropped him off, and we were sitting in the car talking. You know, he hadn't gotten out of the car just yet. And all of a sudden, I seen some lights coming from my rearview mirror, and it was the defendant and in her truck. And so she pulled up alongside the passenger side, and she got out of her truck, and the windows were down in our car because it was warm outside. And she stood outside the passenger door, and she was yelling at him and throwing out comments, and she told me she was going to burn my house down, and just upset. And no sooner was she saying these things did she lunge into the car, and she grabbed my hair.
How could she do that? She was on the passenger side.
And she had her seatbelt
She
on.
went through the passenger window, across the passenger, and
lunged towards you.
You got it.
Okay.
Okay. Grabbed my hair, started tugging and pulling on it, and tried to pull me out of
Now,
the...
Richard is in between the two of you.
Yes.
So she's pulling your hair past Richard's nose.
Yes. And
Got
he's
it.
trying to get her hands off of me. Okay. And she's trying to pull me out the passenger window. And I'm seatbelted
over
in.
Richard.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. And so he's trying to get her hands free from me, and he finally does, okay? And so she got really, threw a temper tantrum, you know, and she started kicking my car on the side, on the passenger door, and making dents in it. And at that point, I was stunned, I was shocked, I was scared. I started the car, and I proceeded to take off. So then I approached a stop sign, I had stopped, and I was just taking off, you know, and I was going about 15 miles an hour, and she hit me in the back of my bumper with her truck. And I went a couple more feet, I hung a U-turn, I stopped, and I said, you know, I'm going to call the cops. And she started burning her tires in her truck, and she sped away the opposite way. And then after that, I went and I dropped Richard off at his house, and then she proceeded to call me for several hours afterwards on my pager, you know, putting in her phone number to
Whatever.
identify
Go ahead,
her,
keep going.
whatnot, and so on.
Okay. And is that
so
what
that's
happened
it.
that night?
Yes.
That's what happened. When did you contact the police?
The following day.
Let me see the police report, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why did you go over to the house 10:30 at night?
Because it was his birthday, and I chose to. He was my boyfriend.
Can I see the bill for the car, please?
What was that?
The bill for the car.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jill Anderson says her ex-boyfriend's girlfriend, Bobby Joe Morris, assaulted her and damaged her car. Bobby Joe denies the charge.
Okay. There was a restraining order issued. Is that right? There's an application
Yes.
for a restraining order.
There is.
I have the application dated the beginning of June.
11 days after the incident, I was served with temporary restraining order papers, which I responded to. We went to court for those orders. We were granted mutual stay-away orders.
Just a second. The incident was reported the next day. You may not have been served with papers until some time after that, but the incident was reported the same day.
Okay.
And she was, in fact, granted a protective order.
We both were, ma'am.
She was. You may have been. You may have been, but you never filed a police report.
Why? It would be false. A police report of what?
Listen to me.
Okay.
Listen to me very carefully. She filed an application for a protective order. She was granted a protective order. That's what she says happens, and I assume you have a bill for any damage to your truck. Is that right? And how much does the bill indicate will be to fix it?
$2,029.62.
Can I see pictures of the truck, please, and the damage? Okay.
I believe it's this way. There you go.
Show these to the defendant, please, Bert. Thank you. Now, Miss Morris, you went to see Richard that evening, the evening of June 5th, and that was approximately 10:30 in the evening?
Close to, yes.
And why did you go to see him at 10:30 in the evening on the 5th of June?
Because, number one, it was his birthday. I was the manager of my daughter's softball team. We had a softball game that evening. We didn't arrive back home until close to 9 o'clock. Richard had been sick for since Tuesday. He hadn't been feeling well. He was ill. So in the evening after I got home and got all the kids delivered everywhere and everything, I went over to see him. I had talked to him approximately 3 hours prior to. He did not go to a Jackson Rancheria or anything else.
When you spoke to him 3 hours earlier.
He called me about 7:30, I'm going to say.
Yes.
On my cell phone that evening while I was at the softball game.
Tell me about your version of the conversation.
My version of the conversation, he asked me how the game was going. I told him, you know, it should be over close to 8 o'clock. We would get back home, and then I'd come over to see him.
And what did he say?
Okay, he'd see me later.
Doubt that. I doubt that. Does Richard work?
No.
Does Richard work?
No.
You mean he just chose not to come today?
Yes.
Okay, so you got over there at 10:30 and you found Richard, with whom you had, according to you, a date, sitting in a car talking to Miss Anderson, who you knew and who you knew he had been involved with. Is that right? Yes, of course, that's right. And tell me what you did.
Okay, first of all, I went to Richard's parents' home, is where he lives, and I pulled up into the driveway. You have to walk into the back. He lives behind his parents' house. I walked back there, expecting that he would be there. He was not there. I stood at his door and I knocked, and I called on his telephone. Got no answer. I left him a message telling him obviously somebody had brought him Feel Better pills because he was obviously feeling better than he was at 7:30 because he wasn't home. So I left from their driveway. There's also rear access to this property, which is where I saw Miss Anderson and Richard sitting in the car. It was not at their residence. It was in an open space in a field behind the home. There's a big gate that you open up, and it goes directly to where he stays.
So you went back there to look for him?
So, yeah, I went to the back gate.
Just a second. So you went back there to look for him?
Right.
After you left him a note on the door?
No, I didn't leave him a note. I left him a voicemail message.
Oh, you left him a voicemail message that said you must have gotten a Feel Better pill?
Right.
And then you went looking for him?
Because his truck was there.
Just a second.
Sure.
Then you went looking for him?
Sure.
Okay, and you found him sitting with the plaintiff?
Sure, yes, I did.
Go ahead. Let's hear the rest.
Okay. I approached from the rear. They were sitting up close to the fence. I came up in the field behind their car, pulled up along the passenger side because I assumed that it being Jill's car that Richard would be in the passenger seat if he were there. Rolled my window down. Richard rolled his window down. I asked him what's really going on here, and he said they were waiting for a friend of his to bring them something or whatever. And at that time, I stated to him that he needed to send her on her way. He did that. They discussed whatever in the car. He got out of the car, and she left. Now, he and I had words at that point, and I wasn't happy with him. This has been an ongoing harassment situation that I've had to deal with from Miss Anderson for the past almost 7 years. So at that point, I told Richard, I'm done, because I had previously, about 8 months ago, had discussion with both of them and told him I was done doing this. I was done.
Why did you go over to the house 10:30 at night?
Because it was his birthday, and I chose to. He was my boyfriend. That's why. I went there to give him his birthday gifts. That's what I went there for.
Can I see the bill for the car, please?
What was that?
The bill for the car!
Yes.
Miss Morris, I doubt the veracity of your version of events, that you went there to give him his birthday presents.
It's the honest to God truth. You don't have to believe me.
Yes, I know. And that he had, in fact, made an appointment to see you that evening, and that you got there and found him with her, and that you said to him, you best come outside so that we can have a talk. This after you told me that you have been harassed by her for the last 7 years, that you had conversations with her before to stay out of your life, and all of that.
Because she came
I'm
to my...
speaking.
Okay.
And all of that good stuff. I doubt the veracity of how you say that evening went down. And I find that you did, in fact, cause the damage to her car, that you did, in fact, pull her hair, which didn't cause her any serious injury, it didn't cause her any injury at all. I do hope that neither one of you have anything to do with Richard anymore. He sounds like quite a loser. In any event, you are responsible for fixing her car. The total cost for her car looks like to me $2,029. What year car is this?
It's an 86.
An 86 what?
Honda Accord.
How long have you had it?
3 years.
How much did you pay for it?
$4,000.
Okay. I think you're going to have the car fixed for $1,000. This car that is now almost 20 years old. You should be able to have it fixed for $1,000.
Okay, can I?
Just a second.
Okay.
Now we're going to get to your harassment. She was granted a protective order by virtue of the fact that she filed an application for a protective order, which brought this matter to head and in court. Subsequent to her filing an application for a protective order, you chose to go to mediation when you said, well, she's been bothering me too. She's been calling, et cetera, et
No,
cetera.
that was not the nature of our mediation.
Go ahead. What's
the nature of our mediation was, number one, I would like to let you know I don't have any kind of a criminal or civil background of any kind.
It's okay. She doesn't have to have a prior criminal background. Neither do you. In order to be granted a
But
protective
to
order,
me-
you lost your temper.
You lost my temper. It
Yes, you
didn't
did.
happen.
You did
It
lose your
didn't
temper.
happen.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. Listen, common sense has to rule. Common sense to me suggests that when somebody with as poor judgment as you have, to subject your children to living with their father and your boyfriend in the same house, has a relationship with a guy, and at the same time as he's having a relationship with you, living in your home, sharing your bed, having a long-term relationship with somebody else, and you permit that circumstance to continue, that when you finally have had it up to here, and at 10:30 at night, after a long day with your children, get in your car to go over to give him his birthday presents, and find him in a field, alone, in a car, with the woman who has been harassing you for the last 7 years, that you do absolutely nothing to her or her car. That defies credulity. I do not believe it. For 30 seconds or less, you can tell me why I should consider your harassment counterclaim inasmuch as she was granted an order of protection. Go!
Okay, first of all, as far as the damages go, I'd like to say something regarding that.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I've made a judgment with regard to that.
Okay.
Pay careful attention.
Okay.
I'm now on your counterclaim.
Okay. And I'd like to also, can I show you these pictures? I've had surgery on my leg. There's no possibility, no way for me to kick, not even that high on her vehicle. So
Did you hear what I said? Harassment. Tell me about it. You've used up 10 of your 30 seconds.
Okay, so harassment has been since 1997. Miss Anderson came intoxicated to my home, called me and told me she was on her way there.
When? Give me a year.
1997.
Not interested. Get to 2003.
2003, she continually calls my home. I've had for 5 years on my phone a block from her calling. I've paid for about almost 6 years on my telephone bill for her to not harass my home.
Okay.
Okay.
When was the last time you filed a complaint against her?
I've never filed a complaint.
How come?
Probably for the same reason she's never filed one against me.
If someone harassed me for 6 years, causing me to put a block on my phone, and continued to harass me, I would have at least made one report to the police. Wouldn't you have?
Probably so.
Probably so. Probably so. Well, next time I would document it. If she continues to bother you, keep a record of how many times she calls. Next time she calls your house and harasses you, I would suggest that you call and report it to the police, and I'll be more than delighted to hear your counterclaim. For now, it's dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, I'm happy with the verdict.
I'm glad it's over with.
Finally, she has to pay for what she's done. You know, you can't go around damaging people's property and not be responsible for it.
The real root of the problem is she's jealous that Richard threw her out of his home and he moved in with me, and we've had a relationship for the past 7 years that she's been very jealous of.
No, that's not true.
She can fully have Richard. He belongs to her.
The truth is that it was his birthday and we were out at Jackson Indian Casino gambling.
I'm done. Wash my hands of the whole thing.
I'm fed up with her.